All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are live here on the TeamVLR.com Facebook page for a very special edition of the Star Spangled Showdown presented by TeamVLR.com here tonight with the UMP Modifieds. And my name is Tommy Rowe up here in the booth. Joining me here tonight, very special guest commentator here tonight. You heard him with the VLR Spring Fling. Welcome, Mr. Ben Shelton. Ben, how you doing, bud?
Doing great, Tommy. Great to be here. And, man, I tell you what, over 100 entries going after $3,000 in prize money and a ton of racing the next two nights. I think that's got to be one of the biggest stories coming into this. If you don't race into that show tomorrow night, you can't say it was because you didn't have a chance.
Absolutely. You got basically two full shows of racing tonight here and tomorrow night, heat races and last chance qualifiers to try to earn a spot in the very coveted 24-car starting field, a chance to win $500 with over $3,200 in prizes, sponsored by the South Texas Speedway here at TeamVLR.com and the UMP Modifieds. We're getting set to go here in just a few moments for qualifying.
Yeah, last few seconds here, Blake Majulis, the fastest time, a 17.003. It looks like we're going to jump ahead to qualifying. And again, qualifying will set the lineups for 5 heat races. There'll be 8 laps apiece. Top 3 out of each of those heats will move off to the main event. Everybody else will go to one of 3 B mains in this first server. Top 3 out of each B main move off to the main event. 24 cars, 35 laps. Top 6 lock into the big finale tomorrow night. Top 5 into that coveted dash. We'll talk more about the format as the night goes on, but right now we're underway with qualifying.
Drivers making their way out on the racetrack right now. First driver I have my eye out on is that 007 machine of Jacob Fields out there on the racetrack. First driver to enter out in qualifying as these drivers make their attempts. And Jacob Fields in that 007 coming around for lap number 1 to try to make tonight's feature event. 17.784. About 7 tenths slower than what he was in practice. This track has slowed down a lot then.
Yeah, it definitely has. We saw 17 flat basically by Majulis in practice. Right now, 17.770 by Kyle Surratt. The best time so far been Skylar Brown, Jordan Casey, Jacob Fields, and Andy Jones, your top 5. As we're seeing drivers now into the 18-second bracket, this track has dropped off, as you said, 3/4 of a second slower than we just saw in practice.
Kyle Surratt, the 18 machine, currently showing the way. Blake Majulis now, quickest in practice. And that rolls over to qualifying, up on top of the leaderboards now with a 17.729. And right behind him, Mason Crawford up to P2 with a 17.741 as we're about a minute and a half into qualifying.
Yeah, Austin Carr now jumps to the top of the leaderboard, and it's worth mentioning in the big finale on Saturday night, the fastest car that I believe from the either server 1, server 2 from either night that does not get in is going to get provisional. So qualifying is really important. You obviously want to race your way in. You want to be in the dash. You want to start up front, but there is a peace of mind in having a chance at a provisional for the big show, which again, over $3,000 in prize money tomorrow night.
Absolutely, and qualifying rolling through here. Only 2 minutes to get your time in. A couple of these drivers not making the time here in qualifying, and we're getting ready to roll the heat race number 1 already.
Well, Austin Carr was your quick qualifier, 17.712. So that's exactly how you want to start things out, as we are going to get these heat races gridded up and set to go. 5 heat races, Tommy. Again, 8 laps the distance, top 3 out of the feature out of each one. Tell us who's going to be in heat race number 1.
All right, heat race number 1, getting set to roll on the racetrack. These drivers pace around the racetrack 2 times before we turn them loose for 8 laps. And starting on the front on the inside, it'll be Austin Carr in that 1 machine. To his outside, in car number 42, that'll be Jordan Casey in car number 42. Right number 2 on the inside, in car number 22, that'll be Kevin Dedman in the Team VLR Dirty Grass sole entry. And right beside him, the outside of row number 2, in car number 44, that'll be Lucas Chowning. Row number 3 on the inside, in the 4 machine, that'll be Greg Perkins. To his outside, the 84, that'll be Clay Devon. And row number 4 on the inside, the 156, that'll be Mike Mulder. To his outside, it'll be Laurel Havens. And your 5th and final row here in heat race number 1. And I do believe that is car number 7. That'll be Alex Holbert. And to his outside in the 63, that'll be Clifford Driscoll.
Well, 10 cars that they can all make the call in this one. 8 laps the distance, and maybe even more crucial than that 8-lap distance, caution laps count. And as you know, a place like Volusia Speedway Park, caution laps can burn up your laps in a hurry and cost a chance into getting into the big show tonight.
Also, keep this in mind, fixed setup here tonight. All these drivers on the same exact setup. So it's more about the driver here for the Star Spangled Showdown than any race you'll see with Team VLR. And we're getting set to go. I believe one more time around the racetrack. We'll turn them loose. 8 laps to distance. Fixed setup modified. Getting set to come your way here on TeamVLR.com Facebook page.
And talk about that real fast, the fixed setup versus these other races where guys test and test and test. They share setups. You've got different things. This puts it back in the driver's hand as car control is paramount.
Absolutely. Most of these drivers spend weeks, months, if not preparing for setups and getting them as fast as they possibly can be. We're in the iRacing base setup. This is the setup that comes with the UMP Modified 4 Volusia as the default setup as we're green and underway in heat race number 1. And it'll be the one machine of Austin Carr, lead them into turn number 1 and 2.
Carr, your leader out of 2 down the back straightaway, the dog leg, if you will, at Volusia Speedway Park, this half-mile oval located in Barberville, Florida. In the second spot, Jordan Casey side by side behind them as they battle out of turn at number 4, lap number 1, book into Austin Carr in car 1.
Kevin Dedman holding on to that very, very pivotal position number 3 right now. He's got a 3-car battle right behind him for position number 4 as the 4-car of Greg Perkins on the inside for position number 4.
Contact between your leaders, and it's going to be Casey to the lead. Carr with all kinds of trouble. He's going to be in a 3-wide battle for that third and final transfer spot. Now he finds himself in 5th. Now he goes around after contact with Clay Debin, and just like that, from the lead to the back of the pack, what a heartbreaker for Austin Carr as he and Jordan Casey, heavy contact for the lead last time through turns 3 and 4, battling for that top spot.
Tough break for your pole sitter already here in heat race number 1. Starts on the pole, leads an opening lap, and will fall all the way back to tail end of the field. And once again, only 8 laps, so these laps winding down pretty quickly. Maybe not enough time to get back up there and challenge for the race lead, but nonetheless, they'll try to pick up a couple more positions, try to advance a little bit further in maybe one of the preliminary features later on tonight.
Yeah, we've seen guys run the alphabet in this before, but boy, you don't want to have to do that. And you definitely don't want to start deep in a preliminary feature when only the top 6 lock into tomorrow night's finale. So right now, Jordan Casey, your leader in car 42, the new London, Wisconsin driver. In his second spot, Kevin Dedman in car number 22. And in the third spot, Lucas Chowning. That's your top 3 transfer cars as they run. We get back green flag, Tommy. We're only going to have a couple of laps left. So if guys like Greg Perkins and the 4 on back, if they want to get on the show, it is go time, or they're going to be in one of those 3 B mains, and nobody wants to be in a B main here in a preliminary event.
Absolutely not. We're probably going to have about 2 or 3 laps to go, and guys like Greg Perkins, Laurel Havens back there in the 4th and 5th place position, we'll probably see them try to get a little bit aggressive right here as we wind down the laps here as they look to be doubling up right now. We'll go green. Next time out of turn number 4, we're going to have basically a green-white checkered finish when we go back racing.
And you very well may end under caution in this one because you're going to see guys get really aggressive. We just saw how aggressive the battle for the lead was. Imagine now if it's a transfer spot into the main event as we'll get them set up. Again, Jordan Casey in car 42 after contact with Austin Carr. Carr goes around, Casey to the back to the lead. We'll see if Carr can make up a few spots to improve his starting spot for a B main as we get set to come back to the green flag.
All right, drivers were stacking up double file. Race admins having none of that. Rolls them back single file. Pace truck should be pulling in right here. And it'll be up to that 42 of Jordan Casey. Sets to lead him back to the green. Kevin Dedman right behind him in position number 2 with Lucas Chowning holding on to the 3rd and final transfer spot.
Casey gets a great restart. Meanwhile, Dedman's got his hands full with Chowning. Greg Perkins outside looking in car number 4 as they race down the back straightaway back to the white flag. Comfortable advantage for Jordan Casey in car 42.
Greg Perkins diving down to the bottom of the racetrack, all over the back bumper of Chowning now on the final lap. Chowning going to pull away down the front straightaway as they go into turn number 1 and 2 down the back.
Out of turn number 2, down the dogleg, down the back straightaway. Jordan Casey for the final time. He's got a 5-car length advantage. He stretches it out into turns 3 and 4. Now he'll slide high off turn number 4. That's going to open the door just a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Your winner, P1, Jordan Casey. Kevin Dedman in 2nd, Lucas Chowning in 3rd. Those 3 move off to the feature. Everybody else will be in a B main from Greg Perkins, Laurel Havens on back.
All right, just like that, heat race number 1 wrapping up, and we're getting set to go heat race number 2. And we'll see if these guys can't get a few more green flag laps in. As you saw right there, yellow flag. Not what you want to see here tonight if you're in one of these heat races.
Well, that very tough break, especially for Austin Carr. And there's a lot of good cars in this one. They're going to take note of what just happened, and hopefully we can stay clean and green for 8 laps here in Heat 2.
All right, getting ready to grid right now in heat race number 2. Once again, 10 drivers set to take the grid. They're going to go 8 laps. Top 3 once again will transfer directly to sub-feature number 1 here later on tonight, where they'll take the top 6 drivers out of that feature. And we're getting set to rack them and stack them, starting on the inside of the front row in the 127 machine. That'll be Blake Majulis, who is outside in the 33. That'll be Evan C. Row number 2 in that 911 machine on the inside. That'll be Andy Jones, who is outside in the 74. That'll be Adam Elby. Row number 3 on the inside in the X-Men machine here tonight. That'll be Terry Gray. And to his outside in the 99. That'll be Marcus. I wrote it down earlier. I'm going to call him Marcus M right now. Ben, do you remember that name?
McCullochek.
Yeah, McCullochek right there. Row number 4 on the inside in that 101 machine. That'll be Josh Helms. To his outside in the 40. That'll be William Dahl. And shotgun on the field all by himself back there in that 55. Bright orange and silver machine. That'll be Austin Moore.
Well, a lot of good cars in this one. Once again, Majulis was very fast to start the night in both practice and in qualifying. Second fastest in qualifying on the pole in that 127. Evan C. to his outside. A couple of heavy hitters on the front row of this one. Racetrack right now, maybe not as much traction as what you come to expect out of Volusia Speedway Park. And you got to remember, these guys are on a 9-inch tire, a lot of horsepower. And if you've been running a late model or a sprint car, you got a lot less right rear to lean on when you barrel off in the corner. Again, it's all about the driver with the fixed setups for this event.
Track is definitely slicked off. Lap times are just about a second slower than they were in practice, so these guys are having to work the gas just a little bit more here in these heat races, and this track will just flicking up as the races move on here tonight, because the track does not reset from how it started. And we're getting set to go right here. Pace truck getting set to pull in. It'll be the 127 of Blake Majulis and the 33 of Evan Seed. Lead them to the green right here.
Heat race 2, green flags out, 8 laps to distance, top 3 to the feature, everybody else to one of those last chance showdowns, off into 1 and 2, the 127 of Majulis, your leader. Here comes Andy Jones to the inside of Evan C, out of 2, down the back straightaway, good battle for second.
Oh, big contact right there. The 911 machine of Andy Jones goes around, and the caution comes out in heat race number 2.
Well, Tommy, if there was ever an announcer's jinx, we just dropped it on the 911, or I dropped it on the 911 of Andy Jones. I said great battle, contact, and you saw Jones' car snap around, and it didn't look like just a ton of contact, but it doesn't take much as fast as these cars are and as little traction as they have.
Yeah, it looks like the 911 of Andy Jones just gets a little bit slick up off the bottom of the racetrack, comes up into the side of Evan C in the 33 machine. Luckily, C able to hold on to it, but unfortunately for Andy Jones, just all the way around into the rear of the field he will go.
And now if you're back in the pack, again, these cautions are eating you alive because you want to pass cars. The caution is out on the speedway, and it's carving into those 8-lap distances. Majulis, your leader. Evan C in second. Adam Elby rides in that third and final transfer spot in car number 74. And then behind him, Marcus McCullochek. He is on the outside looking in as well. Terry Gray in the 4th spot in car number the X-Man. So you got some guys here. They got plenty of time. But these restarts are crucial. If you get a bad restart, you really can't get your momentum built back up in 8 laps, much less 4 or 5 laps, Tommy.
I absolutely hate restarts, especially here in the Modifieds, and it's got to be very frustrating, especially for guys like Austin Moore, starting position number 9. Already moved up 3 spots to 6th, but with more and more caution laps, and he will not have a chance to advance. So it's got to be on point when we go back to green. I do believe we're going to go green next time out of turn number 4.
We'll keep an eye on the Kentucky driver, Austin Moore, back in the 5th spot in car number 55, actually. Make it 6th. Again, a note, 8-lap heat races. The B-mains are going to be 15 laps. We'll verify that, and then a 35-lap preliminary feature. Top 6 out of that lock in to tomorrow night's big show, the top 5 into the dash tomorrow night. But right now they're trying to get out of heat race number 2. We're getting set to come back to the green flag, Tommy, as the pace truck pulls into the pit area off turn number 4.
Pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn, and Blake Majulis already back out in the gas. He'll lead him back down the front straightaway. It'll be Evan C, Adam Elby, your top 3 drivers right now. Here comes the X-Men on the inside, down the back straightaway.
As we work past the halfway mark out front, Majulis, your leader, C comfortably in second. Now Elby's got his hands full with Terry Gray, the Tennessee racer, who rides back and forth. He'll look for the 3rd spot out of turn number 4. Good battle at the line. It's still going to be Elby holding on to 3rd, though.
Bottom of the racetrack looks like where you want to be right now as Marcus McCulchek slips up to the top of the racetrack. Austin Moore, he'll try to power up into the top 5 using the very bottom of the racetrack. As Blake Majula still holds on to it as they come around to 2 laps to go this time.
Seems like down in 1 and 2, the bottom is the place to be. In 3 and 4, these drivers enter a little bit low and let it drift really wide on turn number 4, so maybe a little bit more to lean on. We'll watch Majulis the time off into turns 3 and 4. He enters in the middle, bends the car, stomps on the gas, and lets it drift to the cushion off forward. You see 2 distinct different grooves on each end of this racetrack.
White flag in the air this time. Evans C in the 33 machine. We'll see if he'll challenge Majulis for that race lead as Adam Elby now knocking on the door down the back straightaway. They'll go into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. And 3 wide out of turn number 3 and 4 to be the 127 of Blake Majulis with heat race number 2.
Evans C comes home in second. Adam Elby, the third and final transfer. Terry Gray in the X car, and everybody else will head off to one of those 3 last chance showdowns coming up later. But good racing action in heat race number 2 with Blake Majulis taking the win.
Track definitely seems pretty good right now. If we can avoid the cautions that have plagued us already in heat race 1 and 2, we'll get some good racing in the heat races. But nonetheless, getting ready to go heat race number 3. 10 more drivers set to take the grid in heat race number 3. All right, starting on the front row on the inside here at heat race number 3 in that 15 machine. That'll be Mason Crawford to his outside in the 007. That'll be Jacob Fields. Row number 2 on the inside. The 68, that'll be Darren Littrell to his outside in the 18 machine. That'll be Austin Simmelman. Josh Peacock, he'll start on the inside of row number 3 in that 61 machine to his outside in the 39. That'll be Daniel Cummings. Row number 4 on the inside, scheduled to start. He's in the pit area. Looks like he may have missed the start. That'll be Cole Lonergan. And to his outside in the 42, that'll be Chadron Beam in car number 12, actually. And row number 5 on the inside. In car number 3, that'll be Shane James. And to his outside in the 31, that'll be Mike Crown. Those will be your 10 drivers here in heat race number 3. Tough break for Cole Lonergan in that 45, missing the start.
A tough break for sure as we get them lined up, get set to go. And again, we'll watch them early in this one. Seems like, guys, it takes a lap or two for them to get a feel for these race cars. That's where we're seeing the cautions, at least in the first couple of heats, as we get set to go here in heat race number 3. And what you can't always tell from watching the video of Volusia Speedway Park, the back straightaway, the track is D-shaped. That back straightaway is one big turn. So if you've got a car that doesn't handle to your liking, it is going to push big time, especially at the track entrance down the middle of the back straightaway. We saw it in that last one where cars got together. We'll keep an eye on it here in heat 3 as we get set to go green.
Yeah, only straightaway you really have is down the front straightaway. The rest of the time you're really cranking the real hard to the right to try to make it down the straightaway as Austin Simmelman looks to pull up to the top of the wall. As we go green, it'll be the 15 of Mason Crawford leading him out front.
It's going to be Crawford, your leader, down the back straightaway. Jacob Fields sits in second, Littrell in the third spot, but he looks to the inside of Fields for position number 2 as your leader gets way sideways on turn number 4, but he'll continue to lead the way. Mason Crawford, your leader, side by side for second. Fields and Littrell as tough break for Simmelman. Not sure what happened as we came to the green. That car pulled to the high side of the speedway.
Keep your eye on that 3 machine back there. Shane James, he's looking on the inside for position number 4. Started deep in the field, back in position number 9. Already working on position number 4, looking for more.
Seems like every time I do one of these races, Shane James has bad luck in qualifying, and somehow in the heat race, he comes charging up through there. He's got to get going in this one, though, as we work a lap number 3 off into turns 3 and 4. There'll be just 5 more times around the speedway. And again, very interesting groove that your leaders are using down in turns 3 and 4.
Mason Crawford going down in the inside, up almost against the wall. Actually pulls up just a little bit higher than that very bottom, down the bottom of the racetrack. Jacob Fields right behind him, position number 2. Darren Littrell, Shane James, Josh Peacock right now your top 5 as we're halfway home here in heat race number 3.
It's worth noting Littrell keeping his car on the bottom all the way around the speedway, and Shane James is closing in on him. And James, the first one really to make that high groove work out of 2 down the back straightaway. We'll see down in 3 and 4. Can the 3 car get to that third and final transfer spot? As right on the hub, it's going to be Littrell, and on the top side is Shane James as the battle for the lead starting to heat up as well.
Shane James with a lot of momentum. He'll work the outside of the racetrack over Littrell. Here comes the battle for the transfer spot. Down the back straightaway to be Shane James, Darren Littrell side by side for position number 3.
Side by side for that spot continues to rage through 3 and 4. James leaning on the cushion way up around the billboards on the outside, and Littrell will retain the spot. Laps ticking away in this one, and don't forget Mason Crawford and Jacob Fields having a great battle at the front of the pack as they work down the back straightaway to come back to the white flag.
Less than 0.2 of a second between first and second. Right now, Jacob Fields on the inside. White flag in the air for Mason Crawford this time. We'll have one more time around the racetrack to try to make it in tonight's sub-feature number 1.
Meanwhile, Shane James goes to work on Literal. Literal has changed his line. He slides up. He takes the top group away from James out of 2 down the back straightaway.
Shane James going to try to dive it down into turn number 3 and 4. We'll see if he'll try a crossover move right here as they come to the checkered flag. It'll be Mason Crawford, Jacob Fields, and Darrell holding on to that third and final transfer spot.
Fantastic race in heat race number 3, Tommy. That's what you expect out of these guys, and they put on a show in that one. A lot of good, hard, clean racing.
Huge props right there to Shane James. Started position number 9, worked his way up just about a half a car from transferring over to some feature number 1. He'll have a great start in one of our B mains later on tonight, or last chance qualifiers, I should call them here this evening.
A lot of good cars are going to be in those last chance qualifiers as heat race number 4 starting to take to the grid. Another 8-lapper, 3 more drivers going to the feature. And as they get lined up, tell us who's going to be starting where, Tommy.
Row number 1 on the inside in the 18 machine. That'll be Kyle Surratt here in heat race number 4. And to his outside in the 16 machine. That'll be Grant Riles. Row number 2 on the inside in the 018 machine. That'll be Adam Lighty. And to his outside in the 93. That'll be Zachary DeLong. Row number 3 on the inside in the 75 machine. That'll be Jeremy Ray. And to his outside in the 56. Actually, in the 56, that'll be Brad Dyer. Row number 4 on the inside in the 96 machine. That'll be Wes Kirchner. And to his outside in the 29. That'll be Chris Malone. And I do believe shotgun on the field will be Rodney Whitaker if he can make it. In car number 22, as we get set to go, heat race number 4, 8 laps to distance. Once again, top 3 drivers will make it over to sub-feature number 1.
So Tommy, explain to somebody if they're watching this for the first time on the Team VLR Facebook page why we might have one number on the lineup, but the drivers have a different number on their car.
Well, iRacing gave us the opportunity to use custom numbers with the last build right before this one, where drivers could paint their own numbers on their race cars, but nonetheless, still with the iRacing scoring, it'll still show a generic number, so we actually have to look at the car to see which number each one of these drivers are. It'd be a little bit frustrating sometimes, but it definitely looks good out there as you're racing one of these cars. You can paint your own scheme, get your own number just the way you like it, and it's a pretty good feature. I'm glad they did it.
Well, for some of the guys from the Memphis area where you and I live, we get to see race like Terry Gray, the X-Man. In the last race, he had the X scheme that he has on his normal race car. Jeremy Ray, now the race director at Riverside International Speedway. But when he raced in the number 75, that's what his car looked like. He starts inside of row 3 in this one, so it allows a cool real-world flair into the game. But that's why sometimes the lineups and the car numbers you see don't always match up. Yeah, we mess a lot of things up, but that's not one of them. That one's kind of hard to keep up with at times.
Absolutely. If you see guys like Adam Lighty back on the inside of row number 2, he's able to put his car actually on the rear quarter panel instead of right there in the generic spot where it's supposed to be. But we're getting set to go green. Heat race number 4 underway. It'll be Kyle Surratt and Grant Riles leading to the green. It'll be Surratt down into turn number 1.
We've seen the track widen out in the past heat or two. We'll see how it plays out here in heat race 4 or 5 as Surratt gets a great run off the bottom off into 3 and 4. Behind them, side-by-side contact. Hang on to it. Adam Lighty as he just about looped it out in the 018. He'll hold on to 3rd with lap number 1 going to Surratt.
Adam Lighty holding on to it with contact between him and Grant Riles for position 2nd and 3rd. Jeremy Ray right on their back bumper for the 3rd and final transfer spot. As Kyle Surratt still shows the way here in heat race number 4.
Surratt going to let it drift high to the cushion off of turn number 4. That's allowing Riles to close in on him. Battle heat for the 3rd spot. Lighty's got him. Jeremy Ray knocking on the back door. And back in the 5th spot, Zachary DeLong on the outside looking in. A lot of good cars trying to race their way in here in heat race number 4 as the battle for the lead heats up off into turns 3 and 4 with Surratt fighting a tight race car, and he's got Riles right there behind him.
Definitely have a good racetrack right now. It's not the setup. Everybody on the same setup here tonight. Jeremy Ray a little hard into the Lighty right there for the 3rd and final transfer spot as they work down the back straightaway. 3 laps down, 5 laps remaining.
That could have gone really bad. J. Ray got on the binders last minute. That could have taken him and Lighty out. DeLong would have inherited that, but everybody wants to race their way in, keep it clean as we're past halfway. 4 down, 4 to go, and the best battle on the speedway right now. Back there for 3rd with Lighty and Jeremy Ray as your top 2 cars starting to spread out from the rest of the field.
About 7/10 of a second is the distance between second and third right now. Jeremy Ray back on the inside for the race for position number 3, the third and final transfer spot. Surratt still showing the way, 3 laps remaining. It's Jeremy Ray trying to get to that third and final transfer spot here in turn number 3 and 4.
He's up beside Lighty off into turns 3 and 4. Maybe a tiny amount of contact. J. Ray down low. Drag race back to the line. It's still Lighty in that third and final transfer. Next time by is going to be the white flag as Jeremy Ray gets a good run off into turns 1 and 2. What a battle for that final transfer. And now the Olive Branch, Mississippi driver shoots up into position at number 3.
Jeremy Ray able to clear Adam Lighty for the third and final transfer spot. These drivers come around the white flag this time. One more time around the racetrack for Kyle Surratt, who has a 0.3 of a second lead over Grant Riles, who's moved to the top of the racetrack.
Riles trying to get a little bit of momentum on this final lap. Now he'll duck it back to the inside down through turns 3 and 4 as Surratt goes up the speedway side by side for the lead off turn number 4. Give the win to Kyle Surratt. Grant Riles in second, and your third and final transfer, Jeremy Ray. 4 of 5 in the books, Tommy, and that was an outstanding heat race here tonight at Volusia Speedway Park.
A lot of clean racing right there. Driver was able to hold on. A little bit of beating and banging. Driver was able to hold on to it. We've seen some good passes towards the end right there. And track seems excellent right now. We're getting ready to go. 5th and final heat race here at the Volusia Speedway Park. All right, go ahead and read out the starting lineup. Heat race number 5 coming out on the racetrack once again. 8 laps the distance and starting on the front row on the inside. In that 10 machine, that'll be Skylar Brown. To his outside. And make sure that's the correct number before I tell you a wrong number. I do believe that may be a 7 on that machine. That'll be Davin Cardwell. I'm going to go
with you on the 7 as well. We'll both be wrong if it's wrong, Tommy.
That's fine. I usually am. Row number 2 on the inside. In the 12M machine, that'll be Marcus Mays to his outside. In the 75, that'll be Benji Killian. Row number 3 on the inside. In the 37, that'll be TJ Carter. And to his outside. In the 26, that'll be Eric Scalf. Row number 4 on the inside. In the 118 machine, that'll be Peter Coverley. And to his outside, in the 92, that'll be Shane Evans. And starting shotgun on the field, definitely a driver to keep your eye out on here in heat race number 5 in that 7 machine. That'll be Hayden Cardwell.
You know, Cardwell was fast in practice, and it did not translate once he got into qualifying, and I'm not sure what kind of issue he may have had there, but either way, he's going to start on the back of this one.
He'll definitely be one to watch back there, starting in the shotgun position. As Hayden Cardwell, he was your race number 1 of the World of Outlaw Pro Series late model feature winner earlier this season with the iRacing Series. Getting set to start back there. Shotgun on the field, heat race number 5, your 5th and final heat race here in server number 1. One more server, 60 more drivers set to come up after this feature later on tonight.
Well, we've seen fantastic racing the past couple of heats. The first 2 were a little bit more, it was a little bit of beating and banging, but good, hard, clean racing the past couple of heats. This one will be no different. 5th and final heat, top 3 go to the feature. Then we get ready for 3 15-lap B mains, and then, of course, the 35-lap prelim feature with the top 6 locking into tomorrow night's big finale and the top 5 into the dash. We're getting set to come green off turn number 4, Tommy. 5th and final heat underway at Volusia.
Pace truck makes it hard left-hand turn to the pit area, and Skylar Brown is on the gas. He'll lead him down the front straightaway to turn number 1.
Skylar Brown gets a great hole shot. He'll work the low side of a speedway, but to his outside, Devin Cardwell's going to go to work on him down the back straightaway. That's the battle for the lead. Off into turns 3 and 4. 2 make it 3 good grooves around this Volusia Speedway Park.
Davin Cardwell is actually going to try to cross over Skylar Brown, who tries to cut off his momentum down the back straightaway. As it'll be the 0-7 on the inside of Skylar Brown down the back for the race lead as Marcus Mays holds on to that 3rd and final transfer.
Marcus Mays in 3rd. He's got a lot of company behind him, though, as TJ Carter, Benji Killian, and a host of others going at it. Meanwhile, good battle for the lead off into turns 1 and 2. And it's going to still be Skylar Brown, your leader, but Davin Cardwell waiting on one mistake as they work off 2 down the back straightaway here at Volusia Speedway Park early in heat race number 5.
Looks like the outside of the racetrack's kind of opened up a little bit more than it has been so far. You see a couple more drivers trying to drift up there to make something happen. As here comes the 75 of Benji Killian to the outside of the racetrack for that 3rd and final transfer spot now.
Well, Marcus Mays has driven a great race so far. He's been consistent, but will it be enough as Benji Killian goes to the outside of a speedway? TJ Carter right behind him trying the same thing, along with Eric Scaff. The guys really trying to pound that high side of the speedways. We're past the halfway mark. 4 down, 4 to go, and it's a hornet's nest for that third and final transfer. Hang on to it, Marcus Mays, because you got a ton of company.
Side by side for position number 4, right behind Marcus Mays. Randall Carter trying to throw his name into the hat. He's on the inside of the racetrack, side by side with Mays now.
Where do you go if you're Marcus Mays? They're coming at you high and low. I'll tell you where you go. You go after a second-place car. He's going to go after Cardwell down the back straightaway. As Skylar Brown drops away from the pack, they'll come back to 2 laps to go. And you've got 4 cars going after 2 spots from 2nd through 6th. They're all under a blanket.
2 more times around the racetrack for Skylar Brown, who has a second lead over Davin Cardwell right now. Cardwell trying to hold on to that second-place spot. Mays able to pull away from the side-by-side racing of Randall Carter and Benji Killian. And as I say that, Killian pulls away from Randall Carter.
White flag flies this time out of 4 for Skylar Brown. Comfortable advantage for that driver. 0.8 of a second. Second, Davin Cardwell comfortably in that position. Third is what's under contention, though. Marcus Mays holds the spot, Willie, when they come back to the checkered flag.
Benji Killian down the back straightaway for the final time. He'll try the outside of the racetrack once again. We'll see if he'll try a crossover move right here, try to make something happen, and it won't work as Marcus Mays will hold the third and final transfer spot.
Davin Cardwell in second, and Skylar Brown in car number 10 takes the win. And I tell you what, mad shout out to everybody in that one, because there was a lot of chances to dial people out for position, but everybody ran a clean race. A lot of fun so far here tonight at Volusia Speedway Park, and we're just halfway through in Server 1. Server 2 waiting in the wings, but right now it's time for B-Main number 1.
B-Main number 1 coming out in the racetrack. It'll be 15 laps, and the top 3 will make sub-feature number 1 here in just a little bit, as we'll have, I do believe, 3 of these B-Main last chance qualifiers. We'll go ahead and read out the starting lineup for B-Main number 1. Your front row on the inside in the 4 machine, that'll be Greg Perkins in car number 4. To his outside in the 018, that'll be Adam Lichty. Marcus McCullencheck on the inside of row number 2. To his outside in the 37, that'll be TJ Carter. Row number 3 on the inside in the 61 machine, that'll be Josh Peacock. And to his outside in the 7, that'll be Adam Holbert. Row number 4 on the inside in the 29, that'll be Chris Malone. To his outside in the 40 machine, that'll be William Dahl. Shane Evans in the 92, Austin Sibbleman in the 18 will be the inside-outside of row number 5. And starting shotgun on the field here in B-Main number 1 in the 63, that'll be Clifford Driscoll. Once again, 15 laps, top 3 drivers transfer over to sub-feature number 1.
Well, Greg Perkins, another one of those Memphis area drivers on the pole of this one. Adam Lichty starting alongside in the 018, the driver out of Wares Valley, Tennessee. As 15 laps scheduled to be the distance in this one, top 3 will move on. Everybody else going to have to try for tomorrow night. And let's not forget a difference between the spring fling and this event. Tomorrow night, everybody gets a fresh start that's not locked in. They're divided into 2 servers, and they get an equal chance to try to race their way in with a complete show tomorrow night.
Yeah, that was one of the hard things about the spring fling. Everybody had one chance, and then it was win or basically go home. And everybody will have a fresh start tomorrow night and try to come back and regroup and make the feature event. But nonetheless, Greg Perkins set to lead him back to the green here to try to earn his way right now in B-Main number 1.
Perkins and Lichty brings to the green flag. 15 laps. This is top 3 to the feature. Everybody else transfers to the trailers. They head off through turns 1 and 2. Perkins to the lead. He's got Lichty right there with him side by side for the 3rd spot. TJ Carter in car 37 and the 99 car. Marcus McCullencheck battling it out as we come around to complete lap number 1 with Greg Perkins in car 4 leading the way.
McCullencheck, Carter side by side for position number 3. Carter actually able to clear McCullencheck for the 3rd and final transfer spot down the back straightaway. They're side by side once again.
Good battle now as we're going to go 3 wide for the 2nd spot through turns 3 and 4. Right out front, Greg Perkins, he has no idea how good it is behind him. He just wants to stay green, so he's trying to stretch it out. Meanwhile, that time at the line, TJ Carter from 4th to 2nd, 2 for the price of 1, and he might not be done there as the 37's on the march. He's going to set his sights on your leader, Greg Perkins.
TJ Carter's found something on the outside of the racetrack. His last lap time, 18.47, compared to the rest of these guys running 18.5s and 6s right now. And now here comes TJ Carter for the race lead.
Meanwhile, it's McCullencheck in the 99 trying to find a way around Likey for that third and final transfer. Good battles for the lead and for the third spot as they work off into turns 3 and 4 to come around and complete lap number 4 of 15. Two good grooves here tonight in Volusia.
The Speedway Farms definitely come alive here tonight with the Modifieds. McCullencheck, Likey, side by side for the third and final transfer spot. Still side by side for the race lead between TJ Carter and Greg Perkins.
TJ Carter inches ahead. Who is going to lead as they come back to the line to complete lap number 5? 5 down, 10 to go. New leader, TJ Carter in car 37.
TJ Carter working the outside of the racetracks, found something he's liked. He's going to stick with it. He'll try to pull away from Greg Perkins. Meanwhile, back to position number 3, Adam Likey able to clear McCullencheck. And Likey now holding on to that third and final transfer spot, coming around to 6 laps down.
And now you got to be careful if you're Greg Perkins, because you've been running your groove, and except for TJ Carter, nobody could reel you in, but you see him go by, so now you change your line. Does that give you a chance to fall not only out of the lead, but out of a transfer spot? We're going to see as Likey and McCullencheck try to reel him in. And as I say that, your third and fourth place cars get together with 7 laps complete. Next time by is going to be halfway.
McCullencheck, Likey going at it for the third and final transfer spot. And as they do that, Shane Evans closes the door up to position number 5. Right on the back bumper of Likey, now trying to slide up in front of him for position number 4.
Good battle back there, position at number 4. Meanwhile, your third place runner, McCullencheck, says, have at it, boys. Let me drive away from you. I don't want any part of that one. Likey started outside front row in this one, and he has slipped back from a transfer spot, a shot at the win, until watching the feature. If he does not get things in gear, as we come off turn number 4, we've only got 6 laps remaining, and TJ Carter's on cruise control in car 37.
TJ Carter with over a second lead now over Greg Perkins in position number 2. And McCullencheck holding on to that third and final transfer spot as Likey and Evans go to war back there in position number 4, as they're about a half a second behind position number 3 right now.
Your leader gone in this one, TJ Carter. He's got just 5 laps to go as he works off 2 down the back straightaway. Perkins coming under fire from McCullencheck, and as I say that, Perky gets a big run out of 2 down the back straightaway, hits the turbo boosters and a half a straightaway advance for that second spot. McCullencheck's got an equally as big, if not bigger, advantage over Adam Likey back there, who rides in 4th. Likey would probably need a caution at this point, but the problem with a caution, if we go a couple of laps, it's going to end under caution, so it may take bad luck for one of your top 3 for Likey, Evans, or anybody else to get into the show on back.
McCullencheck runs a mirror. He's got to love what he's seeing in the rearview mirror right now. He's got about a half a straightaway lead over Adam Likey for the third and final transfer spot. Shane Evans not giving up just yet, back on the inside as the top 3 are single file, pretty much running away with it.
Well, TJ Carter driving away from the pack last time by, 1.3 second advantage as he comes off turn number 4 now with just 2 laps to go. His advantage over Greg Perkins, it'll grow just a tiny amount, but either way, he's not losing any ground to him. We've only got 1 lap to go this time out of turn number 4 with Carter leading the way over Perkins and McCullencheck.
TJ Carter, he'll come around out of turn number 4 one more time around the racetrack here in the main number 1. Greg Perkins, McCullencheck comfortably in position 2nd and 3rd right now. Those are your 2nd and 3rd final transfer spots in the last chance qualifier number 1. And TJ Carter, he'll go into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time.
Well, he started 4th in last chance showdown number 1, but he's going to be the first one across the finish line. Car 37 of TJ Carter takes the win. He'll take Greg Perkins in car number 4 to the main event with him, along with Marcus McCullencheck in car 99, Adam Likey, Shane Evans, Alex Holbert. And they're going to be watching the main event with you and I tonight. They'll hope for better luck tomorrow night.
Absolutely, and the best thing about it is these guys will have one more shot at it tomorrow night to try to regroup and make the main event. But nonetheless, their nights here are done, and we'll get set to go with last chance qualifier number 2. Get set to come out on the racetrack as we have 12 more drivers trying for 3 spots. Row number 1 on the inside in that X-Man machine. That'll be the X-Man Terry Gray on the inside of row number 1. To his outside in the 75. That'll be Benji Killian. Row number 2 on the inside in the 39 machine. That'll be Daniel Cummings Jr. And to his outside in the 84. That'll be Clay Devon. Row number 3 on the inside in the 56 machine. That'll be Brad Dyer. And to his outside in the 101. That'll be Josh Helms. Eric Scoff, he'll be on the inside of row number 4 in that 26 machine. Very patriotic looking machine right there. And to his outside in the 12D machine, that'll be Chadron Beam. And row number 5 on the inside He was your pole sitter here tonight. In that one machine, that'll be Austin Carr. Austin Carr in car number 1.
Well, we'll get set to get this one underway. Austin Carr, boy, talk about a bad start to the night. He was in that first heat race, had a chance to get the win. Contact, though, he went around, not only missed the win, the transfer, he finds himself in the back of a B main. 15 laps, a long time to go around this one, though. If you get up there and muscle your car, you can work your way forward, but you got to start passing cars immediately.
Austin's definitely shown he had a fast race car qualifying on the pole here tonight at Volusia. Has been very good at Volusia in the past as well. And he's got to hope for some green flag laps here in last chance qualifier number 2. The X-Man, Terry Gray. The 75 of Benji Killian gets set to lead him back to the green, I do believe, this time at a turn number 4.
Well, lights go down on the speedway. They'll come back to the green flag on this half-mile oval. Gumbo surface, again, located about 40 miles due west of Daytona Beach in Barberville, Florida. And the Modifieds each year, the Dirt Car Nationals, over 100 drivers kick things off down there. Tonight, they're in prelim action as we get set to come back to the green flag, lap number 1, set to roll, B main number 2, tonight for the Modifieds at Volusia Speedway Park.
X-Man with a great jump down into turn number 1. He's going to try to pull away with it already. Is there 3, 4 wide right behind him? This is second, third. Big Hornet's nest right behind Terry Gray.
Not sure anybody else got the notice that we were going green because Terry Gray drove away from it. Everybody else was asleep at the wheel. He's going to lead lap number 1 with about an 8-car length advantage. Killian now Cummings in second. Killian in the third spot. They'll go 4 wide out of 2 down the back straightaway.
4 wide for position number 4 is Daniel Cummings. Benji Killian go at it for position second and third right now, and they're still 3 wide right behind them.
Well, we saw in the last one your leader was a sitting duck early in the race because where he was, he didn't know what the rest of the field was doing, where the bite was. But Terry Gray kind of mimicking a line. You're seeing the fast cars behind him running. He's stretching it out. Last time by 0.6 of a second. We'll see what the X-Man has this time out of turn number 4 as they're 2 by 2 by 3 behind your leader early in B-Main 2.
Benji Killian and Daniel Cummings still going at it hard for position second and third. They're still 3 wide for position number 4. That's Clay Devin on the very top of the racetrack with Brad Dyer. The ham sandwich in the middle right now. Big contact with Clay Devin.
Devin upside down over on his roof in turn number 3, and that should draw the caution. It will, as Clay Devin had a monster run, and it honestly looked like he just ran out of racetrack heading down the back straight into turn 3, hooked that wall, and went for Mr. Toad's wild ride. Tough break for car number 84 for Devin, as he's going to be out of the party here tonight.
Going 4 wide down the back straightaway really does not work very many times here at Volusia, and it proved not to work right there as Clay Devin upside him. And he'll get it regrouped, trying to get it going. We do have 1 quick repair in tonight's events. So these drivers should be able to go to the pit area, get some repairs, tag the rear of the field, try to make something happen. It's still going to be a long, long way to go for Clay Devin in the 84 machine. He's got a lot of fast race cars right in front of him.
Well, we'll get them lined back up, get set to get this one back underway. Again, roughly 5 laps in the books at this point of the 15-lapper. Top 3 move on. Terry Gray, your leader, he had a 0.7 of a second advantage when that caution waved, so he hated to see that. Benji Killian started back in second. He runs in second. Daniel Cummings Jr. started third. He runs third. But again, a long time left to go in this one. And Austin Carr started back in the 9th spot. He's up to 7th. He's picking off a few cars, Tommy, but he's going to have to really kick it into gear if he's going to get into the show tonight.
Yeah, a long way to go for Austin Carr. Got Josh Helms just in front of him in that 101 machine. Then he's got the 26 of Eric Scalf in position number 5, Brad Dyer. Daniel Cummings. Cummings actually holding on to that 3rd and final transfer spot right now. And we'll get set to go here in B main number 2. It'll be the X-Man leading them back to the green.
Well, they get set for the Delaware double file restart, and looks like the 75 Killian wanted the outside, so they get them racked and stacked. Pace truck gets set to pull to the infield. We'll come back to 7 down, 8 to go. And last chance showdown number 2, top 3 to the main event. It's up to Terry Gray to get on the loud pedal. He does. We're back underway at Volusia.
Yeah, Terry Gray will lead them down in turn number 1 and 2. I do believe that was just a standard double file restart. Benji Killian just holding back just quite a bit right there, trying to get a run or something. It did not work in his favor as we got a big spinner in the back.
And looks like Brad Dyer up. Yeah, he's going to get upside down. The car 56 up in turn at number 3. and he saw what Clay Devin did, and he said, "It looks like so much fun. I'm going to give it a shot as well." And the caution waves, and everybody from 5th on back cringes because they know they're going to lose a couple of more laps as we get the field line back up as Brad Dyer heads to the infield in car 56.
Not what you want to see if you're the one machine of Austin Carr trying to come through this field after starting on the pole earlier this evening. A bit of an incident in his heat race. Had to start tail end of the field in this sub-feature B main event number 2. He's up to 5th, but these caution flags have got to be killing him right now.
Well, it's going to be entertaining because we should go back to green with 3, maybe 4 laps left. He's in the 5th spot. That's going to give him a shot to race into this main event. Now, he may lose some friends along the way doing so, but he's going to have a shot at it. He's had a fast race car. Can he pick up a couple of more spots? Terry Gray, Benji Killian, and Daniel Cummings Jr. all have something to say about that, as does Eric Scaff.
As we get set to go, I do believe the admins had tried the double file restart. We're going to go back to single file this time, as it did not prove to work on the last one. So KT King VLR Race admin's going to go back to a single file restart, and I do believe we'll go green next time out of turn number 4. We'll go 5 laps. It'll be 5 laps to go. Maybe 4 laps to go when we go back to green.
Yeah, I think 4 laps, and again, Terry Gray's driven a good race. Well, the past 2 laps in turn 3, somebody's been on their lid. Are we going to go 3 for 3 here, Tommy? Guys like Austin Carr, Eric Scaff, Clay Devin. Well, Clay Devin's already been on his lid. He's on back. But guys like that, hope not, because if we get another one, this race is very likely going to end under caution. And if you're not in the top 3, your night's done.
The only good thing I could say about Austin Carr right now is the 2 wrecks have happened in front of him, so that's given him a couple of more positions to gain on the racetrack. But nonetheless, we're getting set to go green right here. Terry Gray leading him back to the green. It'll be 11 laps down, 4 laps remaining.
11 in the books, 4 more times around the speedway, and Terry Gray will try to build back onto that lead. Meanwhile, Killian in the 2nd spot, comfortably in that spot. Cummings Jr. in 3rd. Meanwhile, behind him, here comes Austin Carr. Carr will shoot up to 4th, down the back straightaway around Scaff. Can he get to Cummings Jr.? 3 laps to sort it out here in Last Chance Showdown number 2.
Almost 3 wide for the 3rd and final transfer spot. Austin Carr digging on the bottom of the racetrack. A lot of contact with Eric Scaff right there in the 26, and then it'll allow Cummins to pull away, and Clay Devin will actually get around Austin Carr as well.
Well, those getting together, Cummins might want to send him a Christmas card early because that bought him some time as we come back now. Just 2 laps to go. Terry Gray leader, Killian in 2nd, Cummins in 3rd. Austin Carr with a lap and a half to figure it out, or he's going to be watching this feature here tonight.
They're coming around to the white flag. We'll see the white flag this time out of turn number 4. Austin Carr with a good head of steam out of turn number 3 and 4. Almost. Here comes Clay Devin now trying to throw his hat in the mix. One more time around the racetrack.
Clay Devin was upside down earlier. He's trying to get into a transfer spot now. Meanwhile, Austin Carr inside of Cummings down the back straightaway. That's your battle for the final transfer spot. Carr inches ahead off into 3 and 4.
Austin Carr on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll slide up in front of the 39 of Daniel Cummings. And it'll be Austin Carr with the 3rd and final transfer spot here in the main number 2.
Terry Gray takes the win. The Atoka, Tennessee driver in the X car. Benji Killian comes home in 2nd and 3rd after starting 9th. Austin Carr. He just gave hope to guys starting deep in B main number 3 because he made it happen, Tommy, as we get set for the final B main of this first server.
One board B main set to come out the racetrack. Once again, it'll be 15 laps, and the top 3 drivers will transfer over to sub-feature number 1 here in just a few moments. The rest of these guys will have to come back tomorrow night and try it again one more time to try to make it into the 24-car starting field for the VLR Star Spangled Showdown. We'll go ahead and tell you how they'll line up here in B main number 3. Starting on the inside of row number 1 in that 3 machine, that'll be Shane James to his outside. At the 47, that'll be Laurel Havens. Row number 2 on the inside. In the 93, that'll be Zachary DeLong. And to his outside, in the 55, that'll be Austin Moore. Row number 3 on the inside. In the 7 machine, that'll be Hayden Cardwell. To his outside at the 31, that'll be Mike Crown. Row number 4 on the inside. In that 156 machine, that'll be Mike Molnar. To his outside in the 96, that'll be Wes Kirchner. Row number 5 on the inside. In the 911 machine, that'll be Andy Jones. To his outside in the 118, that'll be Peter Coberly. And he's actually going to take the grid this time. Missed the grid in his heat race in the 45 shotgun on the field. That'll be Cole Lonergan. Those will be your 11 drivers here in the 3rd and final B main for sub-feature number 1, server number 1 here tonight for the Star Spangled Showdown.
So 15 laps, the distance top three will move on. That will set our 24-car starting grid for this preliminary feature in Server 1. That'll be 35 laps the distance coming up right after this one. Caution laps will not count. The top 6 out of that one walk into tomorrow night's big show. The top 5 move on to the dash, which determine the top 10 starting spots for the big 500 to win 50-lap finale, as we're going to take them around one more time to get this one back underway. And we talked about Shane James earlier, Tommy. He was the guy that looked fast in his heat race. He had to start toward the back, starting toward the front. Is that going to mess his game up? He's used to passing cars. Is he going to know how to act starting from the pole position?
Shane James has probably had some of the worst luck I've ever seen an iRacer have in just about every event. And he's starting on the front row here in B main number 3. We'll see if he can make something happen and run away with this B main.
Did you just jinx him? Did you just do that? Did you just put the announcer's jinx on him?
Maybe if I say something bad about him, good about him. There's no telling with Shane. He just has the worst luck I've ever seen. But nonetheless, they're coming to green right here, Ben.
Green flag is up. Shane and James brings the green flag. He takes them off into 1 and 2. Laurel Haven's going to peek to the outside. Meanwhile, they'll go 2-3 wide behind your leaders as Austin Moore already up to the second spot. Now he's got company with Havens to the outside, down the back straightaway as Laurel Havens now working the high side of a speedway as James will drift up to the high side off turn 4. Shane James will lead lap number 1.
Laurel Havens, Austin Moore side by side for position number 2. Hayden Cardwell trying to split the middle right there. 3 wide for position number 2 now.
Good battle down the back straightaway through the dog leg. Austin Moore into the second spot. He has to bend the car a little bit, and that's going to cost him a little bit of momentum. Now he'll slide up the speedway. Lap number 2, give it to Shane James. How about almost 5 wide for a second spot that time at the line?
5 wide right here. Racetrack is excellent right now at Malaysia. Austin Moore holding on to position number 2. Laurel Havens on the top of the racetrack trying to hold on to that third and final transfer spot. They've got Zachary DeLong, Mike Molnar, Hayden Cardwell all right there together as well.
Zachary DeLong marching around the low side of the speedway back into the third spot. He's watched Austin Moore and Laurel Havens get together. Now they're 4 wide to the third spot down the back straightaway as DeLong shoots up into second and sets his sights on your leader, Shane James, as we come around to complete lap 4 of 15, the third and final last chance showdown.
Still 3 wide for the third and final transfer spot. Austin Moore on the top, Mike Molnar in the middle, Hayden Cardwell on the bottom of the racetrack. A little contact right there with Molnar and Moore. Moore goes back to position number 4, maybe even 5.
Moore's going to slide back in the pack. He was in a transfer spot. Now he finds himself back in position at number 5. Shane James leading the way along in second. Third now. Good battle for that position as here comes Molnar on the 156 marching on the high side, and he's going to go after third and second down the back straightaway as he battles with Hayden Cardwell and Zachary DeLong.
Hayden Cardwell, good head of steam going into turn number 3 and 4. Had to let off the gas right there to avoid contact with DeLong, but Molnar still working the top of the racetrack trying to pass both of them on the outside.
Only one of those drivers, actually 2 of those drivers, is going to move on as they go 3 wide out of 2 down the back straightaway. And on the low side, Hayden Cardwell gets a good run. He'll shoot up into second. A lot of momentum, and he'll go and bounce off the cushion out of turn number 4. They're 3 wide once again as Molnar's gone to the hub. That time by Cardwell in second, DeLong in third. Molnar outside looking in, and as I say that, here comes Molnar. A little bit of contact, a lot of contact with Moore. Things are getting feisty down the back straightaway.
Oh, big contact. Mike Molnar, third and final transfer spot with Zachary DeLong upside down, and that'll bring out the caution.
Molnar with the hat trick. That's the third car we've flipped at 2 B mains now, and all of them are battling for a transfer spot, all of them in the middle of the back straightaway heading into turn number 3, and what a heartbreaker for Molnar in the 156 as he had one hell of a run going. And one thing for sure, these guys have figured out this setup. They know this handle, they know how to drive it, the racetrack is to their liking, and they're putting on a great show, Tommy.
Yeah, definitely. Got to go back to this lap number 8. Looks like the 93 just got in the back of Hayden Cardwell ever so slightly, and they were all running so close together. Hayden Cardwell comes up, nowhere to go, bumps into Molnar. Molnar gets into DeLong, and it's just a chain reaction after that.
Well, we're going to have less than 5 laps going when we go back to the green flag. Shane James, no announcers jinx so far, as he leads the way in car number 3, the Indiana racer. In the second spot, Hayden Cardwell in car 7. And Austin Moore, about Moore, a minute ago, he was back all the way to 5th, and you thought his night might be over. Now he's back in that third and final transfer. I have to think the chaos and the debauchery back there for that third spot, it's far from over in this one.
Also want to give a shout-out back there to position number 5. Cole Lonergan missed his heat race had to start tail end of this B main number 3 up to position number 5. He's got a few laps to get up there and make some noise, but he's going to have to make something happen pretty fast in a hurry. But he's shown he's got a fast race car already up to position number 5. We'll see if he can make something happen.
Well, we saw the last one, and Austin Carr came from 9th to get that spot. So why not, if you're going to, start a little bit further back, come from position 11 and get into the show. Still time to get it done as we get set to come back green. Looks like we're going to have about 4 laps remaining as we get set to get this one back underway with the final 3 cars locking into the main event.
All right, looks like they're going to double them up right here, try to give them one chance at a double file restart. Shane James on the inside, Hayden Cardwell on the outside, and it'll be Shane James back to the gas field in turn number 1 and 2.
We'll keep an eye on that battle for 3rd right now as Austin Moore's got it, but he's going to have company. Here comes Laurel Havens in car 47, the 45 right behind him. Cole Lonergan started back in the 11th spot. Can Lonergan get there and get that final transfer coming around? And right now, how about that? The leaders have all gone to the low side off turn number 4. This racetrack changing again, Tommy.
Laurel Havens going to stick to the top of the racetrack, trying to get that 3rd and final transfer spot over Austin Moore. But Moore pulling away, working the bottom of the racetrack, as you said, Ben.
And now Hayden Cardwell going to go up. He'll catch the guardrail off into turn number 3, and that's going to allow Shane James to stretch it out with just 2 laps remaining. 2 to go, and as I say that, Cardwell gets a good run off into 1 and 2 and closes back in on James with Austin Moore comfortably in the 3rd position. They'll race back to the white flag one more time, Tommy.
White flag in the air for Shane James in that 3 machine. Cole Lonergan up to position number 4. They'll have one more time around the racetrack trying to make a move on Austin Moore, but they're side by side back there still for position number 4. Moore may be able to hold on to it comfortably down the back straightaway.
Shane James married to that low groove all the way around the speedway. Final time off into turns 3 and 4 off of turn number 4. Last chance showdown number 3. Your winner is going to be Indiana Shane James. Hayden Cardwell comes home in 2nd, 3rd, and final transfer. Give it to Austin Moore. Laurel Havens in 4th, and from 11th to 5th, he's going to miss the show tonight. He'll try again tomorrow. Cole Lonergan and car number 45. Just like that, main event grid is set as we get set to go 35 laps. Preliminary feature number 1 here tonight.
All right, we're going to have a quick commercial break, and we'll come back in 35 laps of feature racing. Can't wait, Ben.
Diesel engine oil has changed, and Schaefer has got you covered. What'd you expect? We've been doing our thing so you can do your thing since 1839. We've helped pioneer friction modifiers, helped pioneer advances in synthetics. We go so far back, we even helped the pioneers. So, new diesel oil standards? Yeah, we got this. Introducing our new SynShield CK4 and FA4 heavy-duty oils, developed by these guys, our guys who know their stuff. They've been burning the midnight oil to bring you these new oil technologies for years. Next-generation oils that deliver like only Schaefer can. Durability blends that take you to extremes and back. OTR formulas that keep you rolling longer for less. More driving, less draining with our Max MPG oil. And an ultra-performance oil that lets you put a foot in soot like nobody's business. More miles, greater protection, lower TCO, Schaefer's quality. Yeah, that's the stuff. Diesel engine oil may have changed, but Schaefer, we've been preparing since 1839.
And we're getting ready to go for the largest paid race in iRacing history.
13 different states, 2 different countries.
25 of the best, $3,000 on the line. Driver from Glenboro, Wisconsin, and the D1RT Supermoon graphics. That'll be Dylan Fox. And the pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn, and we are underway with the 12th annual. Easy around the Knoxville Raceway.
Off into turns 3 and 4, final time. The winner of the 12th annual Schaefer's Oil Spring Fling coming to us. It's Dylan Fox in the 999.
And we're getting ready to go for the largest paid race in iRacing history. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We are getting set to go. Sub-feature number 1 here tonight for the VLR Star Spangled Showdown. And, Ben, we have got some action getting set to go here at Volusia.
Yeah, we do 24 great drivers, 35 laps, and even bigger, 6 of these guys are going to lock into the big show tomorrow night, top 5 into the dash. Everybody else, doesn't matter how good you did tonight, you got to start over tomorrow night. And let's be honest, 7th on back, nobody wants that in this one. It's going to be entertaining.
Absolutely. Unlike the Spring Fling, we took 12 drivers from sub-features. Here tonight, we're only going to take 6, and then we're going to do this all again tomorrow night and do the exact same thing. And we'll get set to go ahead and read out our starting lineup for tonight's 35-lap main event. Your front row on the inside in the 42 machine, I should say that. That'll be Jordan Casey to his outside, the 127. That'll be Blake Majulis. Mason Crawford in the 15. Kyle Surratt in the inside, outside, row number 2. Row number 3 on the inside in the 10 machine. That'll be Skylar Brown to his outside in the 27. That'll be Kevin Deadman. Row number 4 on the inside in the 33. That'll be Evan Say to his outside in the 007. That'll be Jacob Fields. Grant Riles in the 16. Gavin Cardwell back there on the inside, outside, row number 5. Lucas Chowning on the inside of row number 6 in the 44 machine. To his outside, the 74, that'll be Adam Elby. Row number 7 on the inside in the 68, that'll be Darren Littrell. To his outside, the 75, that'll be Jeremy Ray. As we get set to go green this time out of turn number 4. Marcus Mays, TJ Carter, the inside, outside, row number 8. Terry Gray, Shane James, row number 9. Greg Perkins, Benji Killian, row number 10. Hayden Cardwell, Mike McCulche. Back there at row number 12, and Austin Moore rounding out the rest of the field as we go green right here at turn number 4, Ben.
Wisconsin and New York bring us to the green flag, and it's Wisconsin with a hole shot and jumping to the lead. It's going to be the 42 car of Casey. Now Now into the second spot already, Mason Crawford, and Majulis falls back to the third in the 127 as we got him stacked up back in the pack.
Racked and stacked right now as Jordan Casey showing the way. Here comes Mason Crawford diving down on the bottom of the racetrack for the race lead, and Blake Majulis right there as well. As once again, top 6 drivers will transfer over to the big race tomorrow night.
Right now, drivers working the low side of a speedway for about the top 6 spots. Back in the pack, they're starting to widen out just a little bit, but these drivers are content to work the low side of this racetrack, drifting about a car width wide off of turn number 4 as Jordan Casey, your leader. But when he drifts wide, that opens the door for Mason Crawford, and just like that, you've got a battle for the lead out of 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Crawford in the 15.
Great battle for the race lead, also great battle for the final transfer spot, but we're going to go keep it up front for the race lead right now. Mason Crawford on the bottom of the racetrack. He will lead lap number 3.
Crawford to the lead, Casey back to second, and just like that, Casey says, you know what, boys, I'm going to see what's on the top side of this racetrack. He goes to the top side and 2 down the back straightaway. That opens the door for Blake Majulis. We'll see if that decision by Casey pays off or not as they come around out of turns 3 and 4 to complete lap number 4, and it's going to be Majulis up to second as the caution will wave. Caution is going to fly on the speedway, Tommy, with 4 laps complete.
Caution out on the racetrack. That may be Greg Perkins in the 4 machine with the caution. And yes, it will. We'll take a look and see what happened to Greg Perkins right quick. 3 wide contact right there. Can't quite tell who that was with. Greg Perkins finds himself in the fence over at turn number 1 and 2. He'll get it turned around, and he'll tag the rear of the field. Long, long way to go for Greg Perkins if he wants to try to make it into the main event tomorrow night.
So it's maybe Darren Literal is the one getting into Greg Perkins. Those 2 getting together. So tough break for Perkins as he goes around, draws the caution. Again, caution laps will not count. They will not count. So we'll let you know as we get set to go back green. I believe unofficially 4 laps in the books. Mason Crawford, your leader. Jordan Casey back into the 2nd spot. Blake Majulis back in 3rd. Dedman in 4th. Skylar Brown in 5th. And that 6th and final transfer right now, Jacob Fields in the 007. He is the man on the hot seat as everybody wants to be in the top 6 when this 35 lapper is in the books.
All right. I've been told caution flags will count here tonight. I do believe they're going to do a green-white checker, though. So if the caution flag comes out with less than 1 lap to go, we'll extend the race a couple of times, do a green-white checkered finish. But caution flags will count here tonight. So we are on lap number 6 right now. So these drivers back towards the rear of the field need to be patient and watch if they want to try to get up there towards the front to make something happen.
All right, so we'll get them racked and stacked. Double foul restart when they come by this time. There'll be 7 laps complete, 28 laps to go, top 6 of the feature. Everybody else starts fresh tomorrow night, and nobody wants to have to start fresh unless you were real bad earlier and you get another chance tomorrow night. Green flag is out. We're back underway with 7 down, 28 laps to go.
Mason Crawford with a great jump leads him down into turn number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide from position number 3. As Kevin Dedman, Jacob Fields, Jordan Casey go at it now.
I'll give Jordan Casey credit. He is determined to get that high groove to come in, but it is costing him space on the track as he's going to fall from 2nd all the way back to position number 6, it would appear, as they work through turns 1 and 2. Maybe he can get his momentum built up down the back straightaway, but he has got his hands full as Jacob Fields looks to his inside. Skylar Brown right there as well.
Jordan Casey, your pole sitter here in some feature number 1, maybe falling back towards the bubble right now, already battling for position number 5. Once again, top 6 drivers do transfer. So Casey needs to make something happen on that high curve or maybe move down to the low line to shut the door as he's losing a lot of spots here in the sub-feature number 1.
It's Adam Elby from 12th to 6th. That final transfer spot, he's improved 6 spots with 10 in the books, 25 laps to go, and Mason Crawford leading the way in car 119.
Adam Elby.
The 15.
Adam Elby may not be done just yet, trying to sneak through the middle right there between Jacob Fields and Jordan Casey as they're about to go 4-car dancing now for position number 4.
Back in the pack, guys trying different groups, but up front, guys are really starting to gravitate back to that bottom, and right now the 42 of Jordan Casey even trying to find a spot into that low line as he may have just got it. He falls into the 4th spot right in front of Jacob Fields, and yeah, he'll go down low, and as I say that, he opens the door ever so slightly to everybody behind him. There's a lot of moisture on the bottom side of this racetrack, and that's where your front runners are at.
Where did let the outside groove go, as we saw Randall Carter using in the last sub-feature. But now they're 3-4 wide almost back there for position number 4s, 5, 6, and 7 now, as that's Skylar Brown, Jacob Fields going at it now.
Yeah, Jacob Fields' contact with Skylar Brown, or actually may have been Adam Elby, and that cost him as the caution waves. Pace truck will pull out on the speedway, and we're going to have caution with 13 laps complete.
And I hate to say it, but Greg Perkins in the 4 machine involved in this one once again. And we'll go back and take a look. Little contact right there between Austin Carr, it looks like, and Marcus Mays. And Greg Perkins, unfortunately, nowhere to go. Finds himself up into the inside wall in turn number 1 and 2. That'll bring out the second yellow here in sub-feature number 1.
Well, it's still Mason Crawford out front, Majulis in second, Kevin Dedman from 6th to 3rd, and now Adam Elby, the driver, on the move. He started 12th in this one. He is up to 4th. Jordan Casey, your pole sitter, sits back in 5th, and Jacob Fields right now in that 6th and final transfer spot. Car 007, Skylar Brown, TJ Carter, Kyle Surratt, Shane James all outside looking in. But if James, another one on the move, 18th to 10th, as he's back in his familiar waters, if you will, passing cars. We'll keep an eye on car number 3 of Shane James now into the 10th position. TJ
Carter, another driver to keep your eye on. He won one of those sub-features earlier on tonight, started 16th up to 8th already, and we still got quite a few laps left to go. We're going to come around to, I believe, 20 laps to go this time under caution as they double back up, get set to go back green.
All right, we'll get them racked and stacked behind the pace truck. Mason Crawford took the lead on lap number 2 away from Jordan Casey, and he has paced the field ever since. Blake Majulis rides back in that second spot. Dedman in 3rd as we get set to come back to the green flag. And you got to think at some point, Tommy, this racetrack could come back to life, and that's when the top really could become a factor once again.
I'm waiting to see when that's going to happen, because guys like Randall Carter, who was using that line to perfection earlier on, stuck down on the bottom right now trying to make something happen. It's making it work so far. As we go back green right here, Mason Crawford set to be back on the gas.
And Crawford gets a good restart, but Jules immediately going to go to the low side right behind, and you know where that car wanted to be. Dedman back there in the 3rd spot. Here comes Elby on the move from 12th to 4th, looking for more down the back straightaways. He goes on the 4th spot. He gets Elby behind him in the form of Jacob Fields, Skylar Brown, all right there.
Jordan Casey, your pole sitter here in sub-feature number 1, in danger of not making the show tomorrow night. Holds on to that 6th and final transfer spot. Still a lot of hungry drivers right behind him, and as I say that, here comes Kyle Surratt on the outside.
Racetrack starting to wake up a little bit. Oh, Majulis gets a love tap off into 3-4. How did he save it? Elby gave him the chrome horn somehow. Majulis did not spin it out, but now they are 3-4 wide for 3rd on back.
Oh my goodness, look at this stack of drivers we got right here. Good 12 cars all right there together down the back straightaway as Majulis falls back to maybe position number 5. And we got a little bit of connection issues right there for a second.
It's going to be Mason Crawford continuing to lead the way next time by. There'll be 15 laps to go as Crawford is motored out to a 6/10 of a second advantage. Dedman comfortably in the 2nd spot. Majulis in 3rd. Jordan Casey time warping in that 42, coming and going, as now he comes after Dedman for position number 3. Excuse me, he comes after Majulis for position number 3. Good battles as your field starting to get spread out around this oval as we approach 15, inside of 15 to go. We approach the 10 lap mark, and it's time to go if you want to be in the big show tomorrow night.
And Jordan Casey committed to the outside of the racetrack earlier. It looks like it was going to cost him a little bit, and now he's found himself back up in position number 4. And Shane James, look at Shane James on the outside of the racetrack trying to transfer to tomorrow night's main event.
Shane James from 18, he works his way into the 7th, looking for more as he'll come after Jordan Casey now, as Casey has fallen back to position number 5, I believe, and Shane James on the move in a big way. That driver having a great run in car number 3, 18th to 6th, and I don't think he's done there as the caution waves on the speedway.
Great drive for Shane James as we got a big wad of cars back here in the back, including the 18 of Kyle Surratt upside down, the 4 of Greg Perkins. He's had a rough night here in sub-feature number 1. X-Man Terry Gray turned around. Darren Literal, Marcus Mays all involved. Big group of cars right there towards the back, beating and banging against each other.
Well, another thing that does is going to take a minute to get sorted out. We're going to be inside of 10 laps remaining in this event. We go back green, and if your guy's back there 12th on back, you didn't want to see that caution. Well, maybe you did. If you're in the 6th spot, you probably didn't want to see that caution. And right now, that is Shane James. But I tell you what, I think James has got a shot at a podium in this race, Tommy, because he's 18th to 6th, and that car handles wherever he wants to put that number 3.
He's put that 3 on the top of the racetrack and drove around to the sixth place transfer spot right now. Still plenty of time left for Shane James to get up there and make something happen. We'll see if his luck will hold up for sub-feature number 1. He can make the show tomorrow night.
How about Mason Crawford out front? He's driven a smart race. He's been the leader since early in the race. He leads the way in car 15. Kevin Dedman in the 2nd spot from 6th to 2nd. And Blake Majulis, I'm going to say he got the get-out-of-jail-free card / save of the night so far. That 127 was completely sideways in front of the field in 3 and 4. LB, I believe, got into him a little bit. Somehow, some way, he saved it. And right now, he sits in your 3rd position.
That was definitely a great save by Blake Majulis. Also a great save by the rest of those drivers who got bunched up right behind them. All those drivers able to get off the gas and not cause a huge collision right there and maybe ruin some of these drivers' nights. And as we say that, we'll get set to go. They rack them and stack them, double them back up, down the back straightaway. We'll come around to, I believe it'll be 9 laps to go this time. We'll go back to green. It'll be Mason Crawford, Kevin Dedman, Dirty Grass sole driver, set to lead him back to the green.
9 laps remaining in this one. Top 6 lock into the feature tomorrow night. Top 5 into the dash. 7 on back. You get to draw uphill and start over again tomorrow as the pace truck pulls the infield out of turn number 4 with 9 laps to go. Main event number 1 of the night underway, and Mason Crawford, your leader, off into turns 1 and 2.
Mason Crawford uses those restarts to his advantage, trying to pull away down the back straightaway. As I say that, Kevin Dedman works the outside over position number 2. Blake Majulis back up to 2nd now, looking for the race lead once again.
And here comes Shane James prowling on the low side. He's up to 5th. He'll get penalty for the 4th spot off into turns 1 and 2. That 3 car on Arrell, 18th to 5th. In front of him, LB has gone 12th to 4th. He doesn't want to give up that easy, and now Jacob Fields makes his move up to position at number 6. As you're in danger of seeing your pole sitter Casey have to have to start over tomorrow and not lock in with that.
Gordon Casey from the pole to the outside transfer spot right now. They're 3 wide for position number 2 almost. LB on the bottom, Dedman in the middle. And here comes Blake Majulis on the outside for the race lead.
Well, racetrack starting to widen out a little bit as we get down to 6 laps to go side by side to the lead. Will we see our 3rd leader of the race at the line? We do. Blake Majulis shoots to the lead in car 127.
6 laps to go here at Volusia sub-feature number 1. Blake Majulis, new man on the leaderboard, as Kevin Dedman working the outside of the racetrack. He'll try to go around Mason Crawford as well. Crawford not going to give up on the bottom just yet. Blake Majulis still leads 5 more times around the racetrack.
5 times around the speedway, and Jordan Casey has climbed back into that 6th and final transfer. Jacob Fields outside looking in as Majulis, the New York driver, leads him out of 2 down the back straightaway. And now Casey comes after Shane James for position at number 5. They'll come around this time, Tommy, just 4 laps to go.
And James running just a little bit higher right now than everybody is out on the racetrack. Maybe costing him some ground right here. Jordan Casey working the bottom of the racetrack back into a transfer spot. Shane James maybe in danger of losing position number 5 running as high as he is.
Well, off of turn number 4, the one thing we know for sure, getting into the closing laps, and right now, Asheville, New York's Blake Majulis, the Swindell Speed Labs, number 127, leading the way, but he's got heavy company. Dedman knocking on the back door. Crawford's got it back going as well. LB's there. Shane James is there. In a good battle for that final transfer. It continues to be Casey in the spot, but Jacob Fields wants by him for position 6.
And Shane James moves back down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's now challenging for position number 3 over Mason Crawford, who's led a majority of this race thus far. Jordan Casey still holding back to that 6th and final transfer spot. And here comes Kevin Dedman on the inside for the race lead, coming around the white flag this time.
White flag goes up in there. Majulis, your leader, but he's got company. Dedman's right there, as well as Crawford, who is going to win prelim feature number 1 out of 2. Final time down the back straightaway, Tommy.
Final time down the back straightaway. Blake Majulis, Kevin Dedman, Mason Crawford, your top 3. Then it's Adam Elby, Shane James, Jordan Casey, your top 6. And coming out of turn number 4, it'll be Blake Majulis in sub-feature number 1. Kevin Dedman, Mason Crawford, Adam Elby, Shane James, and Jordan Casey will be your 6 drivers on the transfer over to the Star Spangled Showdown feature event tomorrow night.
Well, it got hairy after the checkered flag. I think you've got Dedman sideways up there in 1 and 2. You may have Crawford on his lid And either way, we know one thing for sure. Blake Majulis just took the win. As you said, Kevin Dedman, Mason Crawford, Adam Elby, Shane James, and Jordan Casey, your pole sitter, holds on for that 6th and final transfer. Those 6 in the big show tomorrow night, the top 5 in the dash to have a chance to start on the front row.
Definitely a huge shout-out to Shane James, up 13 spots from 18th up to 5th to make tomorrow night's main event. Definitely a great drive by him, and we'll get some of these drivers down here, have a quick interview right quick, and talk about their races and their chances for tomorrow night, and we'll get ready to do this all one more time tonight, Ben.
Well, Sever Warren was really entertaining. We saw great racing. Blake Majulis bided his time, got to the lead at one point. Looked like he might be getting upside down, but he picks up the win. He will start on the pole for tomorrow night's 10-lap dash. And it's going to be Kevin Redmond, Mason Crawford, Adam Elby, Shane James, and Jordan Casey. Unfortunately, Jacob Fields, Hayden Cardwell, Evan C., everybody else in this one, well, they get to start all over tomorrow night.
All right, we'll go ahead and pull down some of these drivers right quick. Let's see if we can't find one to pull down here. Yeah.
Looks like our winner may have already exited stage left.
I think everybody may have exited stage left already.
Well, they're going to go grab them a burrito and get ready to watch Server 2. I think that's what's happened. And you know what? I think we're going to be talking to a lot of these guys again tomorrow night, so no shame there if we want to get ready to wrap this one up, get set for Server 2. I know there's 50-plus guys chomping at the bit over there getting set to have their chance to race into tomorrow night's main event.
Oh, that sounds good to me. Well, we'll just go ahead and once again congratulate the guys on transferring to tomorrow night's Star Spangled Showdown main event. $3,200 in prize money on the line, including $500 to the winner. Sponsored by South Texas Speedway. We'll get set to go sub-feature number 2 coming up here in just a few moments. And
well, I tell you what, guys, looks like everybody's kind of bailed out again, maybe getting that burrito, maybe taking a pause for the cause. So why don't we get ready for Server 2 as we continue the Star Spangled Showdown presented by South Texas Speedway. And we may have one person who has made their way over just as we get ready to sign off there. Let's see who we've got, guys. And we're going to have it Mason Crawford. Mason, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Well, Mason, you didn't get the win. You led several laps there late in the race. You fell back a couple of spots, but how good does it feel to be locked into tomorrow night's main event?
Oh, man, feels real good. I was afraid, starting already in it, that I'd fall back and then have to redo it all again tomorrow, and that would be a real kick in the shorts. So I'm glad to at least be, locked into her.
Talk about this racing. It seems like the racetrack, it started out, it was definitely bottom dominant, but as you saw losing the lead, that middle started to come in late in the race. How much of a disadvantage was it to be the leader at that point? Because you had no idea that the groove was changing.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know. I thought the bottom would probably hold out for the whole race, but I got passed by Dedman and Majulis, and then I ran a lane higher than them and almost got second back from Dedman, so the track started getting real racy there towards the end. 50
laps tomorrow night with the way that the setup is locked in on these cars. How challenging is it going to be?
It's going to be tough with the track. If the track's the way it is tonight, a driver can still move forward. It should still be some good racing, even though it's, fixed setup. But, yeah. Well,
Tommy, do you have any questions for Mason before we let him go and let him get ready to watch this next server?
I think you covered them all pretty right on the head, Ben. We just want to wish him congratulations. Good luck tomorrow night, bud.
All right. And shout out to Swindell Speed Lab and Wall Tap by MH Designs.
Well, there you go. Got to thank the sponsors and pay the bills. And I know Kevin Swindell drops in and watches these things regularly. He'll be harassing me on social media before this thing's over tonight. So again, thanks to all those sponsors, everybody supporting this, and great job, Mason. We'll look tomorrow night. Hey, you start 5th in the dash. You may be on the pole for this thing tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, Mason Crawford, he finishes in the 3rd spot in car number 15. And looks like, Tommy, all the other drivers are MIA. So what do you say we get ready for the next server?
Sounds like a plan to me, Ben.
All right. Well, again, we appreciate everybody that tuned in here on Server 1. We're going to step out, get Server 2 launched, and we're going to have the second preliminary of the night. 50-plus drivers getting underway. Again, watching it live on the Team VLR Facebook page, the Star Spangled Showdown presented by South Texas Speedway. We're going to get ready for prelim number 2. We'll be right back at you.
And we're getting ready to go for the largest paid race in iRacing history.
13 different states, 2 different countries.
25 of the best, $3,000 on the line. Driver from Glenbleau, Wisconsin.
Diesel engine oil has changed, and Schaefer has got you covered. What'd you expect? We've been doing our thing so you can do your thing since 1839. We've helped pioneer friction modifiers, helped pioneer advances in synthetics. We go so far back, we even helped the pioneers. So, new diesel oil standards? Yeah, we got this. Introducing our new SynShield CK4 and FA4 heavy-duty oils, developed by these guys, our guys who know their stuff. They've been burning the midnight oil to bring you these new oil technologies for years. Next-generation oils that deliver like only Schaefer can. Durability blends that take you to extremes and back. OTR formulas that keep you rolling longer for less. More driving, less draining with our Max MPG oil. And an ultra performance oil that lets you put a foot in soot like nobody's business. More miles, greater protection, lower TCO, Schaefer's quality. Yeah, that's the stuff. Diesel engine oil may have changed, but Schaefer, we've been preparing since 1839.
And we're getting ready to go for the largest paid race in iRacing history.
13 different states, 2 different countries.
25 of the best, $3,000 on the line. Driver from Glenbleau, Wisconsin, and the D1RT Supermoon graphics. That'll be Dylan Fox. And the pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn, and we are underway with the 12th annual.
Boy, these iRacing iFlag cars are fast tonight.
You know, Todd, I guarantee you, Brown, Leonardi, Weaver, Capert, and Pena are all using them products from their sponsor tonight to give them the upper hand over the competition.
Well, how can I get fast like those guys?
Well, that's easy, Todd. You gotta head over to iRacingIFlag.com.
Diesel engine oil has changed, and Schaefer has got you covered. What'd you expect? We've been doing our thing so you can do your thing since 1839. We've helped pioneer friction modifiers, helped pioneer advances in synthetics. We go so far back, we even helped the pioneers. So, new diesel oil standards? Yeah, we got this. Introducing our new SynShield CK4 and FA4 heavy-duty oils, developed by these guys, our guys who know their stuff. They've been burning the midnight oil to bring you these new oil technologies for years. Next-generation oils that deliver like only Schaefer can. Durability blends that take you to extremes and back. OTR formulas that keep you rolling longer for less. More driving, less draining with our Max MPG oil. And an ultra-performance oil that lets you put a foot in soot like nobody's business. More miles, greater protection, lower TCO, Schaefer's quality. Yeah, that's the stuff. Diesel engine oil may have changed, but Schaefer, we've been preparing since 1839.
And we're getting ready to go for the largest paid race in iRacing history.
13 different states, 2 different countries.
25 of the best, $3,000 on the line. Driver from Glenbula, Wisconsin, and the D1RT Supermoon graphics. That'll be Dylan Fox. And the pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn, and we are underway with the 12th annual sprint. Easy around the Knoxville Raceway.
Off into turns 3 and 4, final time. The winner of the 12th annual Schaefer's Oil Spring Fling coming to us. It's Dylan Fox in the 999.
Boy, these iRacing I-Flag cars are fast tonight.
You know, Todd, I guarantee you, Brown, Leonardi, Weaver, Capert, and Pena are all using them products from their sponsor tonight to give them the upper hand over the competition.
Well, how can I get fast like those guys?
Well, that's easy, Todd. You gotta head over to iRacingIFlag.com.
Diesel engine oil has changed, and Schaefer has got you covered. What'd you expect? We've been doing our thing so you can do your thing since 1839. We've helped pioneer friction modifiers, helped pioneer advances in synthetics. We go so far back, we even helped the pioneers. So, new diesel oil standards? Yeah, we got this. Introducing our new SynShield CK4 and FA4 heavy-duty oils, developed by these guys, our guys who know their stuff. They've been burning the midnight oil to bring you these new oil technologies for years. Next-generation oils that deliver like only Schaefer can. Durability blends that take you to extremes and back. OTR formulas that keep you rolling longer for less. More driving, less draining with our Max MPG oil. And an ultra-performance oil that lets you put a foot in soot like nobody's business. More miles, greater protection, lower TCO, Schaefer's quality. Yeah, that's the stuff. Diesel engine oil may have changed, but Schaefer, we've been preparing since 1839.
And we're getting ready to go for the largest paid race in iRacing history.
13 different states, 2 different countries.
25 of the best, $3,000 on the line. Driver from Glenville, Wisconsin, and the D1RT Supermoon graphics. That'll be Dylan Fox. And the pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn, and we are under...
You, Tommy.
All right, welcome back, race fans. We are live here on the TeamVLR.com Facebook page for server number 2 of the Star Spangled Showdown with the UMP Modifieds here at the Volusia Speedway Park. And once again, my name is Tommy Rowe up here in the booth. Alongside me, Ben Shelton up in the booth. Ben, how you hanging in there, bud?
Oh, we're good. Got a little coffee, ready to kick off server number 2 here. Qualifying's underway, and see what, we had a lot of great cars in server 1, Tommy, but this one, I don't know, man. Server 2 is making a case for maybe being slightly tougher than server 1 was. There's a ton of great drivers in this server.
Just running off to some of the names in server number 2. You got the guys like Alex Bergeron, James Eden's your current Schaefer's Oil Modified Touring Series points leader. Guys like Dylan Fox, who we all recognize very well from the spring clean back, we called that event back in April. Howard Weaver, just a couple of the guys up in server number 2, but there's some heavy hitters throughout the field here in server number 2, Ben.
Right, looks like Ryan Diotti leading the way right now with the fastest lap, but just to say that Dylan Hauser shoots to the top of the board at 17.360. A lot of good talent in this one. Again, we'll have 5 heat races taking top 3. We're going to have 3 last chance showdowns taking the top 3 out of each one of those, and a 35 lap feature where the top 6 lock into tomorrow night's main event, and the top 5 lock into the dash for tomorrow night. Everybody else will start fresh tomorrow night. So again, you want to be in that top 6, ideally in the top 5 when that checkered flag drops on prelim number 2 a little bit later.
Just about 15 seconds left to go here in qualifying. What I've noticed already in qualifying, this track hasn't dropped off as nearly as bad as they the first server did in qualifying time. Just about 0.3 of a second is the difference between the quick time in qualifying and practice, whereas the other server, there were about 0.7 difference in their qualifying and practice times.
Well, J.D. Brown goes fastest on the board, a 17.047, almost 0.7 a second faster than what we saw Austin Carr go in the last set. And so J.D. Brown's going to be on the grid for heat race number 1, on the pole on the grid, I should say, as they're calling the cars to the grid. Tell us who's going to be in heat race number 1, Tommy.
All right, heat race number 1 getting set to grid up already. And starting on the front row, the inside in that 14 machine, that'll be J.D. Brown. And to his outside in the 421, that'll be Britton Roxbury. Tyler Hargrove, he'll be on the inside of row number 2 in that 54 machine, I should say. It says 46, but it's actually a 54. And to his outside in the number 4 machine, that'll be Tristan Carmen. Row number 3 on the inside in that 13 Team Friday purple machine, that'll be DJ Kilanowski. And to his outside in the 118, that'll be Joshua Hessen. Garrett Nieberger, he'll be on the inside of row number 4 in the 19 Team VLR machine. To his outside in the 21, that'll be Troy Dow. And shotgun on the field here in heat race number 1, that'll be Brett Rawls. Once again, 9 drivers, 8 laps to distance. Top 3 will transfer over to sub-feature number 2 later on tonight, where they'll take the top 6 drivers to transfer into tomorrow night's main event at the Star Spangled Showdown.
And Tommy, getting an update, there's actually going to be 6 heats in this server due to, I believe, a few more entries. So an extra race for your viewing pleasure. You might want to call in sick to work tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit of a late one, knocking this one out. But 6 heats as we get set to roll on this. As your pole sitter, BJ, he picked up your fast qualifier honors here tonight. J.D. Brown out of Bakersfield, California, your fast qualifier on the pole. So it's going to be entertaining to watch this one as we get set to go 8 laps the distance.
And set to go 8 laps. They'll go green out of turn number 4. Next time out of turn number 4. I want to thank each and every one of you guys out there watching live on the TeamVLR.com Facebook page. Hit the like button, hit the share button. We're getting set to go heat racing action. Server number 2. A whole brand new 60 drivers set to take the grid in server number 2 to make one of those 24 coveted spots in tomorrow night's main event. It'll be J.D. Brown, Britton Roxbury set to lead them back to the green this time.
Well, it's like old times starting all over again. Where's Marty McFly? Back to the future as we get set to go heat race number 1, server 2, coming to the green flag. 8 laps the distance, and we are underway with J.D. Brown and Roxbury taking us off into 1 and 2.
J.D. Brown's going to lead him down in the back straightaway as they're 2, 3 side by side down the back straightaway with Tyler Hargrove, Britton Roxbury now.
Roxbury did not get a great start. He falls back to 3rd. He's going to come under fire now as lap number 1 is going to go to J.D. Brown. Hargrove in the 2nd spot, Roxbury in 3rd, Carmen in 4th, but looking to make up ground in car number 4.
Car number 4, that is Tristan Carmen going down the back straightaway, trying to make up some ground on the 421 of Britton Roxbury. He's in on the bubbles right now here in heat race number 1 as he's trying to run down Tyler Hargrove back for position number 2.
They're tiptoeing around the high side of the speedway down the back straightaway. It's been J.D. Brown. You're the California racer, tonight's fast qualifier, not only in this server, but overall leading the way in car number 24. And Racetrack seems to have a little bit more of a cushion than we saw in the last one early in the event, Tommy.
Yeah, a little bit different racetrack, it seems like, so far. Like I said, it was a little bit faster in qualifying. They've got a quick racetrack right now. Drivers going around the racetrack around the 17.4 bracket. And, the last race, we saw drivers towards the main event time running lap times near the 18.5 second range. So you're seeing drivers right now about a second faster on the racetrack. And once again, this is a fixed setup. Everybody on the same setup here at Volusia as part of the Star Spangled Showdown. We got a big battle for 3rd.
And Carmen thought about driving it off in there, got on the binders. If he would have got into Roxbury hard for that 3rd spot, good clean racing. As now Tristan Carmen turns it down the hill, out of 2 down the back straightaway. That's the battle for 3rd, your 3rd and final transfer. They race off into turns 3 and 4. A big slider from the 4, Tristan Carmen. Meanwhile, Roxbury turns back down the hill around him. Fantastic battle as we've got just 2 laps remaining.
2 more times around the racetrack. Roxbury, man, throwing the car up on the nose of Carmen, and here comes the 118 of Joshua Hessen on the inside. 3 wide now for the 3rd and final transfer spot. Look out.
J.D. Brown comfortably out front. Tyler Hargrove in 2nd. 3rd is under protest, though. Who's going to get that final transfer?
Britton Roxbury looks like he's going to pull away from the 4 of Tristan Carmen as they go at it for 4th and 5th now. And coming out of turn number 4. Oh, big contact right there. Hang on. It'll be the 421 of Britton Roxbury hanging on to the 3rd and final transfer spot.
Tyler Hargrove comes home in 2nd and taking the win out of Bakersfield, California. It's going to be the bad racing car number 24 for J.D. Brown. Fast qualifier, wins heat race 1. He stays perfect on the night, and things got crazy on the final corner of that one, Tommy.
Absolutely. Definitely a great drive right there for the driver, able to hold on to the 3rd and final transfer spot. Britton Roxbury, that 421 machine. We'll get set to go. Heat race number 2 set to come out in the racetrack. We'll have 8 more drivers set to take the grid here in heat race number 2. Once again, top 3 drivers transfer to sub-feature number 2 later on tonight. And we'll go ahead and read out the starting lineup. Starting on the front row on the inside in that 00 Swindell Speed Lap machine, that'll be Kendall Tucker. To his outside in the 14 machine, the D1RT Racing machine, that'll be Shad Prescott. Row number 2 on the inside. In the 10 machine, it'll be Casey Brunson to his outside. In the 61, that'll be Jonathan Lampman. Row number 3 on the inside. In the 20 machine, that'll be Ryan Gaunt. And to his outside. In the 34 machine, that'll be Trent Beaver. Trent Beaver in car number 34. And row number 4 on the inside. In the HRE Motorsports number 45 entry, that will be Brayton Wallace. And to his outside. In the 157 machine, maybe one of the most patriotic cars I've seen out here so far this evening, that'll be Drew Hopkins in the 157. All right, once again, 8 drivers set to take the grid. Top 3 drivers transfer to tonight's main event, or sub-feature number 2, I should say. It'll be Kendall Tucker, Shad Prescott leading back to the green next time out of turn number 4, I do believe.
A couple of throttle masters on the front row of this one. Mount Airy, North Carolina's Kendall Tucker in that 00, and Shad Prescott in the 14 alongside the M14. 2 great-looking race cars. And top 3 move on. We talked about it in the last one, Tommy. Racetrack's got a little bit different character than we saw early in server number 1. And it definitely makes you wonder where this racetrack's going to be as it progresses into the show later.
Yeah, we saw a great racetrack in server number 1. I'm hoping to expect the same great racing here in server number 2. And it hasn't disappointed us so far. We saw great racing for the 3rd and final transfer spot in heat race number 1. And we got some pretty good drivers here in heat race number 2 set to go at it, and they'll go green right here out of turn number 4. Kendall Tucker, Shad Prescott lead them to the green.
Pace truck ducks into the infield out of turn at number 4. Green flags up. Kendall Tucker's on the loud pedal, and he'll lead the field off into turn number 1 of the 00. The North Carolina racer leading the way. Prescott right in tow with him, though. And in third to be Casey Brunson on that 3rd and final transfer spot as they work down the back straightaway off into turns 3 and 4 to complete lap number 1.
Single file right now around the racetrack, working that cushion here at Volusia. It'll be Casey Brunson holding on to the 3rd and final transfer spot. Here comes Ryan Gaunt on the inside, down the back straightaway. And you have the 6 machine, that's Brayton Wallace right there as well. 3 cars going at it for the 3rd and final transfer spot.
Your top 2 cars riding around the cushion, stretching it out early in this one. Casey Brunson holds on to that 3rd and final transfer spot. He's got Ryan Gaunt and Brayton Wallace knocking on the back door, trying to find a way into the show. Racetrack is really fast right now, Tommy, and if you don't make a mistake, passing is definitely more difficult right now than we saw at this point in server number 1 as the caution flag waves.
Definitely more difficult now as the caution comes out here on lap number 3. That'll eat away some of the laps. Once again, caution flags do count here in the heat races, so the more caution flags you run, the less green flags laps you get, and less of a chance for these guys coming from the back to try to transfer over to one of those main events here later on tonight. But nonetheless, Kendall Tucker showing the way. Shad Prescott, Casey Brunson, your top 3 drivers right now on the leaderboard.
Well, we're going to have 4 down, 4 to go this time by, and we know we're going to make at least one more yellow flag lap for guys like Ryan Gaunt, Brayton Wallace, Drew Hopkins. Boy, you hate to see this right now, but hey, it's all part of the game as we're here in heat race number 2 with Kendall Tucker, your pole sitter, leading the way. And honestly, we talked about how the racetrack is tough to pass right now because the cushion's so good. Your top 3 cars all started 1, 2, 3. They all run 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we saw this in server number 1 earlier on tonight. A couple of cautions early on, but the racetrack started to come in later throughout the evening. So a lot of great racing. Hopefully that's the case here in server number 2, as I do believe could be, I think, going to go green right here at a turn number 4, possibly. See if the pace truck will pull in. It'll come around to, it'll be 5 laps down, 3 laps remaining. It'll be Kendall Tucker set to lead him back to the green right here out of turn number 4 next time.
Yeah, one more time around as pace truck leads the way in this one. He's going to make one more lap, and again, we'll come back, and it's basically going to be a green-white checkered shootout. We're going to have 2 laps left. And right now, if you're Casey Brunson, it's imperative you get a good restart because Ryan Gaunt, Brayton Wallace, those guys are going to be looking to pounce as we head down the back straightaway through the dog leg, off into turns 3 and 4. Pace truck will pull to the infield. Kendall Tucker will mash the loud pedal, and we should see 3 flags if it stays clean and green. The green flag, then the white flag, then the checkered. Pace truck to the infield. Heat race 2, back to the green flag, Tommy.
Dad Prescott trying to get a little bit of a jump right there on Kendall Tucker. He lets back off, I guess, and that'll actually allow Kendall Tucker to get a little bit better of a restart down the back straightaway. Chad Prescott still holding on back there, position number 2. Casey Brunson, your top 3. And they're going at it pretty hard back there for 4th on back right now as the top 3 trying to run away.
Good battle for the 4 spot, but all that does is get you a better starting spot in the B main, which, hey, that's going to count too as we work the white flag lap out of 2 down the back straightaway. Kendall Tucker, a good run for the Mount Airy, North Carolina driver, off into turns 3 and 4, and heat race number 2 is going to be claimed by the 00 of Kendall Tucker. Shad Prescott comes home in 2nd. Casey Brunson, your 3rd and final transfer spot. Then it's Ryan Gaunt, Drew Hopkins, your top 5. With only the top 3 moving on, congrats to Kendall Tucker taking the win in the Swindell Speed Labs Esports Car 00. Heat race 3 making its way to the grid.
All right, once again, 9 drivers set to take the grid here in heat race number 3. 8 laps the distance. Top 3 will transfer over to sub-feature number 2 to try to make one of those 6 spots for the Star Spangled Showdown main event tomorrow night. And we'll go ahead and read out the starting lineup, starting on the front row on the inside here in heat race number 3. And that 2 machine, that'll be Dylan Hauser to his outside in the 3. In the 96, it's shown here tonight, that'll be Barrett Bishop. Road number 2 on the inside. In the 28 machine, D1RT Racing driver Trevor Fitz into his outside in the 18. That'll be Bryce Daffrin. Garrett Murphy, he'll start on the inside of road number 3 alongside Michael King Jr. And row number 4 will see the 15 of Jaron Mopfin into his outside. In the 269, that'll be James Grace. And shotgun on the field all back there by himself. In the 41, that'll be Grant Brown. Once again, 9 drivers, 8 laps to distance, and we'll get set to go green. Out of turn number 4, Dylan Hauser, Barrett Bishop.
Dylan Hauser on the front row on the pole in that number 2 car. And again, he's got company with Barrett Bishop alongside. A couple of talented drivers. Again, no shortage of talent in either one of these servers. And as we talked about, a ton of talent here in server number 2 as we work heat race number 3 of 6. 6 big heat races, 3 B mains, and a partridge in a pear tree, a 35-lap feature to close out this second prelim server of the night. Tomorrow, man, it's going to be jam-packed. If you didn't get in tonight, you're going to have plenty of chances tomorrow. 2 prelim servers, and then the big 50-lap, 500 to win, over $3,000 on the line. Right now, though, heat race number 3 getting set to come to the green. Pace truck ducks to the infield, and we are underway.
Dylan Hauser, he'll lead him down into turn number 1 and 2. They're side by side right behind him. Positions number 2nd and 3rd. Make that 3 wide now as Bryce Daffrin trying to split the middle for Trevor Fitz and Barrett Bishop.
Bryce Daffrin thought about shooting the gap. Then he thought better of it. Thought he was going to go from 4th to 2nd. He decides to bide his time. So Dylan Hauser leads lap 1. Trevor Fitz in 2nd. Then Bishop in 3rd. And now racetrack starting to come to life and business picking up at the front of the field.
Barrett Bishop trying to work through the middle of the racetrack, try to split the 2 cars. Trevor Fitz on the inside, Dylan Hauser on the outside. Those are your side-by-side 2nd and the lead right now. Bishop up to 2nd on the outside over Trevor Fitz as the top 3 try to pull away as they're side-by-side behind them for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Fantastic racing in your top 6. Only 3 of them move on, and right now Hauser leads the way in car number 2. He'll slide up the racetrack. Keep an eye on Fitz, glued right to the hub, as he'll stay in 3rd. Bishop in the 2nd spot. They'll work through turns 1 and 2, and right now Bishop taking a look at your leader, Dylan Hauser, out of 2, and down the back straightaway.
Bishop got a good run down the back straightaway. Hauser able to shut the door on him down the back. And Hauser a slide up in front of Bishop this time. Dylan Hauser still showing the way as they're halfway home here in heat race number 2.
Dylan Hauser keeping his nose clean. He's getting good pressure from behind him, but he's staying married to that cushion. Barrett Bishop, Trevor Fitz can't find a way around him, and now Bryce Daffern going to join that battle. Oh, Daffern just about looped it around up in 3 and 4, trying to get to the third and final transfer spot. As we are 5 laps down, 3 to go with Dylan Hauser leading the way in car 2.
Dylan Hauser still leading the way, coming around. They'll see 2 sticks in the air. Next time, out of turn number 4, Barrett Bishop all over the back bumper, and then it's Trevor Fitz, your top 3 drivers. Bryce Daffern, Jarrett Murphy, Jarrett Mopin, your top 5 right now on the racetrack. Here comes Daffern on the inside of Fitz for the third and final transfer spot.
Still a bit slimy on the bottom. I'll give it to Daffern, though. He has tried to make it happen wherever he can. Just can't quite get there. Right now, he's outside looking in. The white flag's displayed. Dylan Hauser takes it one more time around this Volusia Speedway Park in heat race number 3 for car number 2 of Dylan Hauser.
Pretty much single file right now, 1 through 3. If these drivers don't make a mistake, these will be your top 3 transfers here in heat race number 3. As working out of turn number 4, it'll be Dylan Hauser and the 2 machines taking home the win.
Barrett Bishop comes home in second. Trevor Fitz in third. Bryce Daffern will finish fourth. He heads to the last chance showdown. He takes Jarrett Murphy and Jared Maupin with him. Your winner of heat race 3, Dylan Hauser in car 2.
All right, heat race number 3 already over with just like that. We still got 3 more heat races set to come out in the racetrack. And we got a pretty good heat race set about to come out right now. 8 drivers set to take the rid here. 8 laps the distance. And starting on the front row on the inside in that 12 machine, that'll be the Canadian Alex Bergeron. To his outside in the 919 machine. He's the 2019 VLR Spring Fling winner. And the 999 machine, I should say. It'll be Dylan Fox. Road number 2 on the inside. In the 112, that'll be Devin Morgan. And to his outside in the 0, that'll be Austin Matthews. Road number 3 on the inside. In that 03 machine, it'll be Dylan Thomas. And to his outside in the 20 machine here tonight, that'll be Brandon Schmidt. And row number 4 on the inside, that 21 machine, that'll be Hunter Qualls. And to his outside, in the 74B, that'll be Blake Brown. Those will be your 8 drivers here in heat race number 4 for the Star Spangled Showdown server number 2 here tonight. All right, pace truck should be leading him down the back straightaway for the final time. It'll be up to the Canadian Alex Bergeron. Dylan Fox and the 999 machine set to lead him back to the green. This time out of turn number 4. Once again, 8 laps the distance. Devin Morgan. Austin Matthews back there, the inside, outside, row number 2. There's Dylan Thomas, Brandon Schmidt. Inside, outside, row number 3, Hunter Qualls, Blake Brown. As pace truck gets set to pull in, we get set to go here in heat race number 4.
A lot of feature wins on the front row of this one as we go green. Bergeron and Dylan Fox, and they're going to head off into turns 1 and 2. Bergeron moves to the lead. Dylan Fox chases him around the cushion in the second spot. Down the back straightaway, Austin Matthews works up into position at number 3. They come around to complete lap number 1. Still a lightning fast racetrack. And the last heat, Tommy, we saw the racetrack widen out as the heat went on. We'll keep an eye out for that in this one.
Driver still working the cushion right around the middle of the racetrack right now here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Dylan Fox and that 999 all over the back bumper of Alex Bergeron. They'll dive down into turn number 3 and 4. Alex Bergeron still showing the way here on lap number 3.
Bergeron leads the way, but Dylan Fox waiting on one mistake, and now Fox peeks to the inside. Downwards, a little bit slimy still at the bottom of 1 and 2. And he says, what slime? As he gets a great run down the back straightaway. Maybe a little bit of contact between your leaders, but we stay clean and green with Bergeron, your leader, Fox in second. And now prowling on the low side, Austin Matthews trying to get 2 for the price of 1. And just like that, it's going to be Matthews poking his way, trying to get to that second spot. 3 cars going for the lead. We got a fantastic race here early in Heat 4.
3-car dance for the race lead right now. Austin Matthews going to try to work it down the bottom of the racetrack, try to slide up in front of the 999 of Dylan Fox. Cushion right now is where you need to be as they drive around the 0 of Austin Matthews into turn number 1 and 2.
Bergeron continues to lead the way out of 2 down the back straightaway. And right now, Dylan Fox got his hands full. Austin Matthews driving a good race, sort of back and forth. He's in third. He's looking for more. And he's one of the few guys that can stay on the low side of this racetrack all the way around it. As I say that, Matthews goes up and tries the cushion down in 1 and 2, trying to find a way to get a run on Dylan Fox in the 999.
Top three drivers right now, about a second ahead of your fourth place driver of Brandon Schmidt, who's also got his hands full with a 20 machine of Devin Morgan. I do believe that's the 20 of Brandon Schmidt and the 112 of Devin Morgan going at it back there for positions number 4 and 5. And all that's doing is allowing the top three drivers to just run away with this heat race number 4.
The top three have had a heck of a battle, but they stayed clean, and they've been able to stretch out over the remainder of the field with a white flag waving one more time around the speedway. And our brethren from north of the border getting bragging rights as Alex Bergeron leads the way over Wisconsin's Dylan Fox and Missouri's Austin Matthews. Final time off into turns 3 and 4.
Final time for the Canadian out of turn number 4. It'll be Alex Bergeron taking home the win here in heat race number 4. Dylan Fox in the 999 second, Austin Matthews third. Then it's Devin Morgan, Brandon Schmidt, Dylan Thomas, Blake Brown, and Hunter Qualls rounding out the rest of the field in heat race number 4. And just like that, heat race number 5 gets set to come out in the racetrack.
3 quality throttle mashers in that one, and they all move off to the main event. It's going to be interesting later tonight to see how that 35-lapper plays out with only 6 drivers locking into tomorrow night's main event. Right now, heat 5 getting set to roll.
All right, heat race number 5 already out on the racetrack. Once again, 8 drivers taking the grid. Top 3 transfer to sub-feature number 2. And starting on the front row on the inside in the 52 machine. He's your current points leader for the Schaefer's Old Modified Touring Series here at Team VLR. That'll be James Edens, who's outside. In the 313, that'll be Greg Thompson. Row number 2 on the inside. In the 48 Napa Auto Parts Casey Kane Racing entry, that'll be David Heilman, who's outside. In the 09, that'll be Cody Turchi. Row number 3 on the inside. In the 22 machine, that'll be J.D. Sass, and to his outside, the 68, that'll be Ronald Piles. And row number 4 on the inside, the 66C machine, that'll be James Ruttrick. And to his outside in the 02, that'll be Cameron Evans. Those will be your 8 drivers here in heat race number 5. One more heat race set to come up right after this one.
8 cars make the call in this one, heat 5 of 6. And James Edens, a driver on the pole, leading the Modified Touring Series point standings. He's had a heck of a battle with the guy that just won the last heat, Alex Bergeron. Bergeron picked up the win in that one. Edens on the pole of this one in car number 52. As lights should be down on the speedway. Next time out of 4, we'll go green. 8 laps the distance.
8 laps to distance. James Edens in that 52 machine. He's picked up a couple of wins with the Schaefer's Old Modified Touring Series to catch the points lead. The pace truck leads them down the back straightaway for the final time. And you got the Catfish 313 of Greg Thompson on the outside. David Heilman, Cody Turchi back there on the inside, outside of row number 2. As we'll get set to go green right here at a turn number 4. Pace truck getting set to pull back in.
Pace truck pulls the infield out of 4, looking for the green flag. Good start. We're underway. Heat race number 5 of 6 here on server 2. Off into turns 1 and 2 at Volusia Speedway Park, and it's going to be Edens to the lead. Meanwhile, the 48 car getting a big slider, moving up into that second spot. Oh, we got one hard at the wall down the back straightaway. Cars heading every direction, as I believe we're going to see a caution. And indeed we do, and that one got ugly in a hurry, Tommy.
Greg Thompson in the 313 machine down the back straightaway. Gets slid up in front. David Heilman slides right up in front of him, but a little bit right after that, Thompson just up into the outside wall all by himself. Kind of like a bomb went off as he just kind of exploded in the air. And he'll fall back to the tail end of the field here in caution number 1 of heat race number 5.
Just like that, your outside front row starter finds himself at the back of the field. A hard wreck there. Your leader, James Edens, in the 52. David Heilman in car number 48, the Napa Auto Parts entry. And Ronald Piles in car 68 rides in 3rd. As, again, we're going to click off a few laps. We'll be about halfway home here in heat race 5 of 6 by the time we go back green. And as we've outlined all night, does no favors for those guys deep in the field.
The only thing it's allowing is James Edens to pick down the laps here in heat race number 5 and get set to try to make it over to sub-feature number 2 later on tonight. Edens got to love what he's seeing right now with the caution laps, as well as David Heilman and Ronald Piles, top 3 drivers. Probably wish they could run caution the rest of the race. Nonetheless, we'll turn them back loose here. A couple more laps. They'll go green with about 4 laps to go, maybe 3.
Well, We've seen these heats stay pretty clean so far, and one big reason has been the racetrack's been so fast that guys really haven't pulled out a line just a ton, but as we saw in that last heat race, if your car's dialed in, you can get around the bottom fairly well, so it'll be interesting to see how this racetrack continues to widen out as we move on. We'll have one more heat after this one, then 3 last chance showdowns and a 35-lap prelim feature, so still a ton of racing to go. The racetrack will go through many changes as hopefully we're getting set to go back green in this one. As we come back to 4 down, 4 to go in heat race number 5. And the pace truck is going to pull into the infield. James Eaton's on the loud pedal, back underway.
James Eaton's with a good restart. He'll pull away from David Heilman into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, it'll be Heilman, and here comes Cameron Evans now on the inside for position number 3. Battle for the transfer spot is on into turn number 3 and 4.
Cameron Evans trying to get that spot away from Ronald Piles. Piles will hold the spot at the line. That's a good battle. We'll keep an eye on it as the laps tick away. Right now, Heileman coming under fire from the 68 car of Ronald Piles as your leader is absolutely decimating the field right now. And this one, just able to drive away from him on the straightaway of all places, Tommy. That car is definitely a good one for James Eaton in the 52.
And James Eaton's actually working the bottom of the racetrack where it's been a little bit slimy down there in turn number 3 and 4 as he works the cushion over in turn number 1 and 2. A little bit different line than we've seen thus far. David Heilman trying to pull back away, try to gain some ground, and the battle is still on back there for position number 3. Ronald Piles on the outside as Cameron Evans, he'll take over position number 3 now.
White flag in the air. Final time around the speedway for James Eaton's working out of 2 down the back straightaway. He's got almost a full straightaway advantage over David Heileman. Final time off into turns 3 and 4. The winner of heat race number 5 will be car 52 for James Eaton's. David Heileman comes home in 2nd, and Cameron Evans from 8th to 3rd. How about that? With a caution along the way, he takes that 3rd and final transfer in the 0-2.
Very impressive drive from Cameron Evans in that 0-2 machine. Dead last to 3rd with a caution. And pretty respectable number right there. But we're getting set to go. Heat race number 6. The 6th and final heat race getting set to come out on the racetrack right now. And we'll have 8 drivers set to 7 drivers, I do believe. Stephen Calavoda is an admin here tonight. We'll have 7 drivers going 8 laps. Top 3 transfer over to sub-feature number 1. The rest will have to come from one of those last-chance qualifiers. And starting on the front row, on the inside, the 57 machine, it'll be Ryan Daddy. So he's outside. In the 07, that'll be Howard Weaver. Row number 2 on the inside. In the 50, that'll be Brent Pryor, and who's outside. In the 62 machine, that'll be the Magic Man, Zach Jenkins. Row number 3 on the inside, the 42, that'll be Virgil Graham, and to his outside, the 9 machine, that'll be Justin Thomas, and shotgun on the field. In the 6 machine, that'll be Stephen McMillan. Those will be your 7 drivers here in the 6th and final heat race for Team VLR server number 2, Star Spangled Showdown.
All right, so we'll make one more time around the speedway. Ryan Diatti and Howard Weaver on the front row for this one. 2 throttle masters once again. Final 3 drivers to lock into the main event out of heat race action. Everybody else is going to have to depend on a B main here tonight, with only 3 coming out of 3 of those. So we've got 7 cars in this one. You would normally think 7 cars, hey, 3 move on. I like my odds, Tommy, but when you look at who you got to deal with, there's nothing easy about passing anybody in this heat race.
Ryan Diatti, Howard Weaver, your front row right there. Those 2 drivers. Hard to pass on their own. Then you got Brent Pryor, Zach Jenkins, a couple of well-known drivers back there. Virgil Graham, one of Outlaw Pro Series driver back there on the inside of row number 3. Justin Thomas as well back there. Green flag is out. We are underway here in the 6th and final heat race.
6th and final heat underway, and Diatti leads him to the cushion down in turn number 1. Howard Weaver, a groove lower, rides in 2nd. Meanwhile, side-by-side for the 3rd spot, Zach Jenkins back there doing battle with Brent Pryor. So we come around to complete lap number 1, and no big surprise, your front runner is going to get some momentum built up around that cushion before they venture out anywhere else. Very fast racetrack here tonight, Tommy.
Down the back straightaway, it'll be the 57 of Diatti, Howard Weaver, Zach Jenkins, your top 3 with Virgil Graham, Brent Pryor, Justin Thomas going at it. Thomas on the bottom of the racetrack right now. He'll try to power ahead of Brent Pryor right now. Thomas up to the top 5.
Now battle for the lead out of 2 down the back straightaway. Howard Weaver looks to the inside of Ryan Diatti. That's for the top spot. Through 3 and 4, slide job from Howard Weaver. Can Diatti turn back down the hill? Almost limited contact. They stay clean. What a battle at the line. New leader Tennessee's Howard Weaver moves to the top spot in the 0-7. That was a masterful slide job off into turn 3.
Great slide job right there for the 0-7 of Howard Weaver. Team VLR driver Deanne back on the inside, side by side. Once again, coming around to halfway home this time. Give it to Howard Weaver.
Deanne rides in the second spot. Zach Jenkins in third, and he's bringing company. Here comes Virgil Graham, no stranger to the front of the pack in the 42, and he's bringing Justin Thomas with him. We'll come back this time out of turn number 4. 5 down, 3 laps to go, and this one could get interesting for that final transfer spot. Hang on to it, Zach Jenkins, because you got company.
Howard Weaver stretched his lead to over a half a second now over Deanne, who's fallen back over to Zach Jenkins, who's trying to run him down. Pole position number 2. Jenkins holding on to third. Here comes Virgil Graham. Justin Thomas. They're going to try to make it 3 wide with 2 laps to go.
And how about Howard Weaver changing his groove and down in 3 and 4, 1 and 2. He's going to work the middle of the speedway, lets it drift to the cushion off 2. But last time by 3 and 4, he went to the bottom and actually added ground to his lead. As maybe that top side starting to go away just a little bit. And as I say that, Weaver must have liked the feel of the cushion because he goes back to the cushion out of 4. White flag in there, Tommy. Final time around the speedway.
White flag in the air. Howard Weaver holding on to position number 1 comfortably, but the battle is on back here for the third and final transfer spot. Jack Jenkins has it. Justin Thomas, Virgil Graham, Wannon. Who's going to get it out of turn number 3 and 4 this time?
Drag race back to the line. Comfortable win for Tennessee's Howard Weaver coming home in second. Give it to Deotte. Third to Zach Jenkins by half a car length, and Virgil Graham and Justin Thomas as some contact after the checkers, but that doesn't change your transfer cars as Howard Weaver takes the win over Deotte and the 62 of Jenkins. And just like that, we get set to grid Last Chance Showdown number 1.
Last Chance Showdown number 1 for server number 2. We'll have 11 drivers set to go 15 laps, and once again, it looks like we're going to take only the top 2 this time. We had 6 heat races, took the top 3 from the heat races. Now we'll only take the top 2 out of each of these Last Chance qualifiers. And we'll go ahead and read out the starting lineup for Last Chance qualifier number 1. Starting on the front row of the inside, that 4 machine, that'll be Tristan Carmen. Who's outside the 112, not making the call. Devin Morgan, your outside pole sitter, missing the grid. Row number 2 on the inside, the 118. That'll be Joshua Hessen to his outside in the 20. That'll be Brandon Schmidt. Row number 3 on the inside in the 19 machine. That'll be Garrett Nieberger to his outside in the 03. That'll be Dylan Thomas. Right now, he'll be on the inside of row number 4 in the 21 machine. But Blake Brown, the 74, to his outside. And row number 5 on the inside, the 17, that'll be Brent Rawls to his outside. And the 21, that'll be Hunter Qualls. And shotgun on the field in the 13 machine, that'll be DJ Kilanowski.
It looks like your pole sitter going to the back of the pack as well. And car number 4, as Tristan Carmen's scheduled to be on the pole, and he is at the tail of the field, so that's going to promote, it's like Joshua Hessen up to the pole position. So some major changes here, as I don't think your other front row starter made it either, did he, Tommy?
He's sitting in the pitch right now. He missed the grid, so that'll put Joshua Hessen, Brandon Schmidt now your front row. And we'll only go green with 10 drivers out of the 11 scheduled to start. Joshua Hessen in the 118. Brandon Schmidt sets to lead him to the green right here out of turn number 4.
15 laps, the distance, top 2. Move on out of this one since we had 6 heat races tonight. And they'll immediately go 3 wide for the lead with Joshua Hessen tiptoeing around the cushion. They work down the back straightaway. Brandon Schmidt in tow. Nieberger right there as well. Come around to complete lap number 1 of 15. And it's a good battle as they flare out 3 wide on turn 4.
A little bit harder in server number 2. Once again, only the top 2 out of the Last Chance qualifier will make it into sub-feature number 2 later on tonight. Garrett Nieberger on the inside of Brandon Schmidt for the second and final transfer spot as they go into turn number 3 and 4, almost 3 wide for the lead now.
Dylan Thomas and Troy Dow lurking in the shadows, trying to find their way up through there. Racetrack is really solid right now with Joshua Hessen working the cushion off of 2 down the back straightaway, leading the way early in this one.
Coming around to 3 laps complete this time. 12 laps remaining. Here comes Nieberger. Not done in second just yet. Looking for the race lead over Hessen, who's working that cushion still here at Volusia down the back straightaway.
Hessen leads the way. Nieberger in second. Brandon Schmidt trying to get his feet under him, pedaling as fast as he can in that 20 car back in third. Meanwhile, they're 3 wide for 4th behind him. And everybody trying to get in one of those top 2 spots that Hessen and Nieberger have right now. 4 laps down, 11 to go as we work lap number 5.
Nieberger takes it to the cushion down the back straightaway. Here comes Brandon Schmidt trying to pull alongside him down the back into turn number 3 and 4. Good battle for the second and final transfer spot right now. Here comes Brandon Schmidt on the inside trying to clear Nieberger.
Brandon Schmidt with a great run right around the low side of the speedway in 3 and 4, 1 and 2. He'll work the middle. Now he dive bombs to the bottom, diamonding off the corner in car number 20, trying to catch the 19 of Nieberger for the final transfer spot. Out front, Joshua Hessen leads the way in the 118. He's led since the drop of the green flag. Now with 6 laps down, 9 to go.
9 laps to go. Nieberger still holding on to the second and final transfer spot, able to pull away just ever so slightly from Brandon Schmidt. Distance is 0.2 of a second right now between second and third. Here comes Schmidt now back on the inside. Down the front straightaway they go, coming around to halfway home this time.
A tale of 2 grooves between first, second, and third as right now Hessen enters high. In the middle is Nieberger. Schmidt married to the bottom. They'll head off into 3 and 4. Your top 2 cars go to the cushion. Your third place car, Brandon Schmidt, he's been married to the bottom since the drop of the green flag. Will it come in for him before this race is over? He's 2 car lengths behind Nieberger for that second and final transfer with 8 down, 7 to go.
8 laps down, still Hessen out front to Nieberger. Brandon Schmidt, Troy Downs moved up to position number 4, about 0.6 of a second behind right now, but that he's got a long way to go to catch the top 3 drivers. Only 2 transfer in, and Brandon Schmidt all over on the inside of Garrett Nieberger, putting a lot of pressure down the back straightaway.
Fantastic battle right now in your top 3. Hessen not able to pull away. Nieberger not able to get away from Brandon Schmidt. Schmidt not giving up on that low groove. Right around the concrete, all the way around this speedway, and continues to be half a car length back. He's got 5 laps to figure it out, as now your top 3 flare out 3 wide, off into 1 out of 2. Down the back straightaway, it's still Hessen, your point, your leader, as they head off into 3 and 4.
They'll come around to 4 laps to go this time. Nieberger trying to work the middle of the racetrack, pull alongside your race leader of Hessen to try to pull away from Schmidt. And they'll go to turn number 1 and 2, almost 3 wide down the back straightaway now.
Nieberger could have another problem very soon. He might be faster than Hessen. He has to get on the binders just a little bit. If he checks up very much, that's going to allow Schmidt to roll by him on the low side. So the fact that Nieberger's faster than your leader might be a problem before this one's over. 3 laps to figure it out, and you couldn't ask for any more out of this Volusia Speedway Park right now, as it's putting on a fantastic battle as we close in on 2 to go.
Side by side for position number 2. They'll come around. They'll see 2 sticks in the air this time. Brandon Schmidt pulling up in front of Nieberger now. He will actually be credited with position number 2 that time. And we have a caution out on the racetrack. Oh, my goodness.
If you're Brandon Smith, that's going to be Heartbreak City, because this one's going to end under caution. And the Iowa driver who had just raced into second that lap, don't believe it's going to count. And he's going to find himself on the outside looking in.
Actually, Ben, I believe that will actually work in his favor, because they freeze the positions when the caution comes out. Brandon Schmidt, I believe, was shown ahead of Garrett Nieberger at the line that time.
All right, we'll wait and see what the official call is, as I do believe Checker's going to drop this time out of 4, and wow, what an unfortunate ending to this race, as my buddy James Essex would say, please stay green, and that was such a fantastic race. You wanted to see it come down to the checkered flag.
We'll see how they scored it right there. I do believe Brandon Schmidt may have been ahead of Nieberger. He is not going to go ahead of Nieberger this time, and it will be Garrett Nieberger with position number 2 at the checkered flag.
So what I'm thinking there is maybe the caution came out before the leaders got all the way back to the line, and that could be a situation, because I know it was close, but either way, what a heartbreaker for Brandon Schmidt. He drove the wheels off that thing. But hey, Garrett Nieberger did what he had to do, and Joshua Hessen drove a fantastic race in car 118. And it looks like now we're getting word it's actually going to be extended for a green-white checkered finish. That's what we're being told by race control.
Green, white, checkered, a little bit of extra racing right here. That's what you want to see. You did not want to see it end like that.
Well, we're learning as everybody else is right now, Tommy, so.
Haven't seen the caution in the B main for a green-white checkered yet, so this will be interesting. Hessen, they'll double him back up. It'll be Hessen on the inside, Nieberger on the outside, and they'll put Brandon Schmidt back there in row number 2 alongside Troy Down, who's got a bit of life left in him now.
Well, this is when you lean on your brother. This is when the family relationships, the friend relationships are out the window. You want to get a chance to get into this prelim feature. And we're going to see if a few elbows get thrown here, as it will be up to Joshua Hessen when we go back green. He'll be the guy to gas her up. And again, green-white checkered. If you're Hessen, you didn't want to see this either, because this could mess you up in your shot at moving on. Pace trucks pulling to the infield, Tommy. Here we go.
Back underway, they'll see the green flag. Next time out of turn number 4, they'll see the white flag. They're 3 wide for position number 2 already.
What a battle out of 2 down the back straightaway. Nieberge in second. No, he falls back to third. Schmidt gets a big run. The Iowa driver in car 20 up to second. They'll race back to the white flag. Hessen, the first one, back to the line.
Almost 4 wide back there for position number 3. Nieberge falls back to third. Big flip on the front straightaway. Will we stay green down the back for the final time?
Work out of 2 down the back straightaway. So far, we're still green. Hessen, your leader. Nieberge's got one more chance to get back around. Schmidt, they race back to the checkered flag. The winner of Last Chance Showdown will be Hessen in second. Give it to Schmidt. Nieberge in third. What a heartbreaker for the driver of that entry. He will not move on, but Joshua Hessen, Brandon Schmidt drive a great race. And what a way to start Last Chance Showdown action, Tommy.
Heartbreaker for Garrett Nieberge right there. Great job for Joshua Hessen with leading from flag to flag, able to hold on to the race win. And a heck of a drive from Brandon Schmidt as well, able to sneak up into sub-feature number 2 later on tonight and try to make it into one of those 24 starting spots in tomorrow night's main event.
Well, the bar has been set high in Last Chance Showdown action. Last Chance Showdown number 2 sitting in the lineup grid. Tell us who's going to be in it, Tommy.
All right, on the inside of row number 1 in that 20 machine, that'll be Ryan Gaunt. To his outside in the 68, that'll be Ronald Piles. Row number 2 on the inside in the 157 machine, that'll be Drew Hopkins. To his outside in the 09, that'll be Cody Turchia. Row number 3 on the inside in the 6 machine, that'll be Brayton Wallace. And to his outside in the 22, that'll be J.D. Sass. Row number 4 on the inside. In the 34 machine, that'll be Trent Beaver. And to his outside in the 66, that'll be James Rotruck. It looks like shotgun on the field in that 61 machine. That'll be Jonathan Lampman. Those will be your 9 drivers here in B main number 2. Last chance qualifier number 2. 15 laps to distance. Once again, only the top 2 transferred to sub-feature number 2 here in just a little bit. These drivers will pace around the racetrack one more time before we turn them loose. Once again, 15 laps to distance. This sub-feature last chance qualifier number 2 for sub-feature number 2 here tonight. And only top 2 transfer. The rest of these guys will pack it up and try to come back again tomorrow night and do it all over again.
Oklahoma and West Virginia on the front row of this one. And as we saw in the first Last Chance Showdown, it's literally not over until the checkered flag waves, or perhaps the overtime checkered flag waves. Only 2 drivers moving on. And you're seeing guys right now going on the trailer that would have a chance to win any other race anywhere else on iRacing. But tonight, they're watching a prelim feature. And as you said, Tommy, they'll try to change their fate tomorrow. As we make our way off into turns 3 and 4, we should see the pace truck pull to the infield. And it's going to be up to Ryan Gaunt and Ronald Piles to bring us to the green flag. 15 laps the distance, top 2 transfer, Last Chance Showdown number 2.
And we're green. Ryan Gaunt already on the gas. He'll lead him down the front straightaway into turn number 1. They're side by side for a second, right behind him with Ronald Piles working the outside of the racetrack. He'll fall back to third, almost 3 wide, as the 157 of Drew Hopkins moves up to position number 2.
Well, Hopkins got a great start. Now he bends it hard down at 3 and 4, and that race car might not be handled as well as he would like. He'll hold the second spot at the line, but he's got a lot of company. As here comes the 34 of Trent Beaver, strong arming his way from 4th, maybe up to 2nd. As I say that, to his outside, here comes Ronald Piles. Good battle for that second and final transfer as your leader Ryan Gaunt motors away from the pack.
Gaunt running away with it. They're beating and banging all over the place back here for the second and final transfer spot as Trent Beaver. He pulls up to position number 2 right now. Started 7th, already up to 2nd. Ronald Piles working the outside of the racetrack, trying to find a way back around him.
Trent Beaver, as you said, he has moved from 7th to 2nd and maybe made a few enemies along the way, but hey, right now he's in a transfer spot. As Fort Gibson, Oklahoma's Ryan Gaunt leads the way. The WR1 race car out of 2 down the back straightaway with Trent Beaver in tow. Ronald Piles now losing ground in car number 68. He rides back in third, but he's losing ground to Trent Beaver in that second and final transfer with 4 down, 8 to go.
Trent Beaver with one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now. Best lap 18.208. Your leader's best lap 18.313. As here comes Trent Beaver on the inside for the race lead into turn number 3 and 4.
Well, not sure if Ryan Gaunt spilled his water back at the house or what, but he had massive issues out of 1 and 2 that time. That allowed Beaver to close in on him, and now they are side by side for the lead with Beaver leading last time at the line. They'll race back to lap 6. Working lap 6 through turns 3 and 4, side by side for the lead. Gone up top, Beaver down low, and who is going to lead lap number 6? Give it to Trent Beaver back to the top spot.
Ronald Piles, Cody Turchi going back at it for position number 3 back here. If you're one of those drivers, you need to get single file right now and try to run down these race leaders who are side by side for the race lead, going pretty hard right now. As only the top 2 transfer, it's Trent Beaver showing the way, and that's Ryan Gaunt on the outside of the racetrack, holding on to that second and final transfer spot.
Well, a tale of two grooves right now. Trent Beaver married to that low side. Ryan Gaunt tap dancing around the high side of the speedway. Those two a comfortable advantage as this time out of 4 will be halfway home. 8 down, 7 to go. And oh, look out. Gaunt ran it off hard into 3 and 4. Got into Beaver. Had to get on the binders. And that's going to allow Gaunt to fall back into the clutches of Cody Turchi and everybody else behind him as they're trying to take that final transfer spot. That's the second mistake that 20 cars made in this race. The third one may put him on the trailer, Tommy.
8 laps down, 7 laps remaining. Cody Turchi's eyes had to light up right there when he saw the contact with Ryan Gaunt falling back into the clutches of him. But right now, a little bit of connection issues right there with the 0-9. We stay and keep it going. We're now Ronald Piles has turned around.
And caution on the speedway. That is going to set up what will likely be a green-white checkered finish in this one as we are coming back around. We'll complete lap number 10 as the caution waves. And if you're Ryan Gaunt, you definitely did not want that caution. You've had a couple of miscues in this one, and as I said, the third one may take you out of that transfer spot.
Like a little bit of hard racing right there with the 6 of Brayton Wallace and the 68 of Ronald Piles. Ronald Piles running for the transfer spot earlier on tonight. Finds himself spun around, and he'll have to restart the tail end of the field with just a few laps left remaining. And it's the 34 Trent Beaver showing the way here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Ryan Gaunt, Cody Turchi, Drew Hopkins, your top 4 drivers right now.
Well, how about your leader, Trent Beaver? He started back in 7th. He got to 2nd on the opening lap, and as we talked about, maybe made a few less friends along the way, but now he finds himself in the lead. Your pole sitter, Ryan Gaunt, in that second and final transfer spot right now. And Cody Turchi, he started 4th. He rides back in 3rd. He's got to find the way to the lead, as we're going to have 2 to 3 laps remaining in this one by the time we go back green.
We're definitely showing that you can make enemies now and apologize later, but not the time to be making any friends here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Only top 2 transfers. Started 7th. Did what he had to do to get up to the lead already, and we'll have just a few laps left to go. It'll be around 3, maybe 2 laps to go when we go back green.
Yeah, I believe we're going to have another green-white checkered finish of the conventional kind. If it stays green that way, it'll go the 15-lap distance. But, wow, this one could be extremely entertaining as, again, we've seen Trent Beaver. He's been married to that low side, and we'll see on the restart if that allows him to drive away from the field. Can Ryan Gaunt get a good restart, or will that car push again and open the door for Cody Turchi, Drew Hopkins, or J.D. Sass? We're going to find out as lights are down on the speedway. Pace truck should pull in, and we're going to see 3 flags. The green flag, then the white, and the checkered. And last chance showdown number 2 here tonight at Volusia Speedway Park in the Star Spangled Showdown presented by South Texas Speedway.
Green flag is back out, and Trent Beaver already back on the gas. Here comes Cody Turchi on the inside for position number 2. Gaunt on the outside of the racetrack to power back down the back straightaway and move ahead once again in the second final transfer spot.
Ryan Gaunt gets a fantastic restart. That's what he needed through 3 and 4. White flag is that one more time around the speedway for Trent Beaver. Gaunt's got his hands full. Here comes Cody Turchi.
Gaunt's going to have to hold it perfect down the back straightaway. Turchi down to the bottom of the racetrack this time. He's got Hopkins on his tail, but here comes Cody Turchi on the inside in turn number 3 and 4.
Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Trent Beaver with a comfortable win. Who is going to have second? Drag race back to the line on the scoring monitor. It's going to be Ryan Gaunt. Ryan Gaunt, then Cody Turchi. Gaunt by a matter of inches. Get your second and final transfer. That was a heck of a race, Tommy.
That was a pretty good finish right there to watch as Ryan Gaunt couple of mistakes in the race, able to hold off a hard-charging Cody Turchi right there in turn number 3 and 4 and take home the second and final transfer spot. We got one more last chance qualifier coming up right now, Ben. 11 drivers set to take the grid here in the third and final last chance qualifier. We're going to tell you how they'll line up. Starting on the front row on the inside, and that 18 machine, that'll be Bryce Daffrin. And to his outside in the 9, that'll be Justin Thomas. Row number 2 on the inside, in the 25 machine, that'll be Jarrett Murphy. And to his outside in the 42 machine, that'll be Virgil Graham. Row number 3 on the inside, in the 91 machine, that's Jared Moppin. And to his outside in the 50 machine, that's Brent Pryor. James Grace, he'll start on the inside of row number 4 in that 269 machine, alongside the 41 of Grant Brown back there. And I do believe that's your 8th and final starting spot here in Last Chance Qualifier number 3.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch Bryson Daffrin off the front row in this one. He had a really good car in his heat race, but just there were no lanes to go. They were side by side in front of him. He didn't want to force the issue. We'll see what he can do in car number 18, and he's got Justin Thomas alongside in car number 9. As you said, 15 laps, final 3 drivers that move off to the main event. Everybody else done for tomorrow night, as the Sunray, Texas driver Bryson Daffrin will bring us the green flag next time by in car number 18.
One more pace lap around the speedway. Bryson Daffrin, Justin Thomas, your front row. There's Jarrett Murphy back there on the inside of row number 2 alongside Virgil Graham in the 42 machine. They go down the back straight for the final time. 15 laps the distance. Only the top 2 transfer to some feature number 2. The rest will have to come back tomorrow night and try it once again. Nonetheless, we're getting set to go here in the third and final last chance qualifier of the night.
Once again, some really good cars in this one. 8 cars, only 2 of them move on. Pace truck will duck into the infield out of turn number 4. We go green. 15 laps, top 2 move on. Everybody else transfers to the trailer. We're underway, and Bryson Daffrin gets a great hole shot off into 1 and 2. Justin Thomas back in second. They'll go 3 wide from the second spot as Thomas pushed up to the middle of the racetrack, and just like that, Jarrett Murphy shoots up to second, Graham to third, and the 9-car Justin Thomas trying to get the number of that bus because he's all the way back to 4th.
A little bit of contact right there with Justin Thomas in the race leader causes Thomas to fall back to position number 4 as Bryson Daffrin holding on to the race leader side by side for the second and final transfer spot down the back straightaway. Give it to Virgil Graham on the outside.
Virgil Graham getting a good run. He'll slide from the middle of the track up to the top side off turn at number 4, trying to reel in Bryson Daffrin. That time at the line, Daffrin will see his lead cut in half, 900ths of a second. Here comes Virgil Graham in car 42. Big run out of 2 down the back straightaway. They'll power off into turns 3 and 4. Who will lead lap number 3?
Ocean's back alive once again here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Virgil Graham making use of it right now. He'll take over the lead on lap number 3. 3 laps down, 12 laps remaining. Bryson Daffrin holding on to the second and final transfer spot. Maybe not for long, because here comes the 25 of Jarrett Murphy knocking on the door and using a little bit of bumper.
Well, Daffrin changes his groove. He goes up top. What does Virgil Graham do? He goes to the bottom, and that might tell you how comfortable that 42 driver is with the way his car feels right now. He got the lead on the top, immediately went to the bottom, and now he's motoring away from him. Bryson Daffrin with his hands full with Jarrett Murphy and Jared Maupin.
Mopping on the inside of the racetrack. There are 3. I'll make that a 4-car dance now because Justin Thomas back in the picture for the second and final transfer spot. 5 laps down, 10 laps remaining. Who's going to take home the second and final transfer spot in this last chance qualifier?
What a race right now as they work down the back straightaway off into 3 and 4. And Jared Maupin heads down to the low side. Daffrin up top. New second place runner at the line. Score that position now. As Jared Maupin on the move, Daffrin outside looking in, and he's got his hands full because Jared Murphy's going to go to work to him, and Justin Thomas working in the weeds back in 5th.
Jared Maupin about a 10th of a second quicker right now than your race leader, Virgil Graham. We'll see if he can run down Graham for the race lead as they're 3 wide for 3rd right behind him. Not what you want to have going on right now as the top 2 are trying to run away with it.
That's exactly right, and this time out of 4 we'll be halfway home. 8 down, 7 to go. So if you're Daffrin, Thomas, or Murphy, it's time to turn on the afterburners and go after it. You're going to be watching this feature here tonight, wondering what could have been. Your top 2 cars are not drastically, but slowly inching away from 3rd on back with Maupin in that second and final transfer spot in car 15.
Virgil
car
Graham
91, excuse me.
Virgil Graham still holding on to it. Once again, 8 laps down, 7 laps remaining. They're single file, nose to tail now. Maybe the smartest racing out on the racetrack, Murphy, knocking on the door. He'll move back up to position number 4 over Justin Thomas. But here comes Bryson Daffron knocking on the door for the second and final transfer spot.
Daffron's got his feet back under him, going after Jared Maupin for that second and final transfer. Laps ticking away. Make it 5 laps to go. 10 in the books, 5 to go, and your top 3 dancing around the low side of his speedway. One little slip up by Maupin, and Daffron's going to take advantage of it. Meanwhile, Virgil Graham started 4th, got to the lead early, slowly extending his advantage now with 4 laps to go.
Bryce Daffron, he'll peek down once again on the inside for position number 2. Just not enough steam to pull out in front of the 91 of Maupin, who's trying to pull away once again down the back straightaway. There's Jarrett Murphy, Justin Thomas, your top 5.
Well, right now, as you said, Tommy, your leader's starting to get strung out just a little bit. We're inside of 3 to go at the flag stand. And Virgil Graham has driven a smart race. And the thing that stuck out to me, Graham got the lead on the high side, went to the bottom, and he has not abandoned it ever since. And he's been able to stay out front with Maupin working his way from 5th into the 2nd spot. And your pole sitter, Bryson Daffron, watching Tom slip away from him back in 3rd.
Bryson Daffron with a big Hail Mary that time, almost loses position number 3 with the move he tried to make on Maupin that time, as Maupin pulls up behind the back bumper of the 42 of Virgil Graham as they're going to come around the white flag this time.
White flag displayed one more time around the speedway for Virgil Graham in car 42. Maupin comfortably in the 2nd spot. Daffron, hey, you got to give it to him for the Hail Marys. Nothing to lose, as he actually caught the inside wall that time out of 2, and that's going to allow the top 2 to stretch it out down the back straightaway, and your top 2 will have a comfortable transfer, Tommy.
Coming out of turn number 4 will be the 42 of Virgil Graham, taking home the win here in last chance qualifier number 3. And picking up the second and final transfer spot in that 91 machine, that'll be Jared Maupin. And that'll wrap it up for our last chance qualifiers, and we'll go to a little bit of a warm-up before our feature event.
24 cars locked into this feature now, 35 laps coming up in just a few moments. And again, the top 6 out of this one guaranteed a starting spot tomorrow night. The top 5, any of them could start on the pole because they'll all be in the dash.
Couple of minutes of practice here before we turn it over.
Well, practice is over. We're getting set now for the preliminary feature number 2, the opening night of the Star Spangled Showdown presented by South Texas Speedway. 24 cars getting set to go at it, and they're going to be doing it for 35 laps. Top 6 move off to tomorrow night's main event. Top 5 will be in tomorrow night's dash. Tommy, this one looks to be outstanding. 24 cars getting set to make their way to the grid. Let us know who's going to be starting where.
All right, row number 1 on the inside. In the 14 machine, that'll be J.D. Brown to his outside. In the 00, that'll be Kendall Tucker. Row number 2 on the inside. In the 2 machine, that'll be Dylan Hauser to his outside. In the 12, that'll be Alex Bergeron. Row number 3 on the inside. The 52, that'll be James Edens. And to his outside. In the 07, that'll be Howard Weaver. Row number 4 on the inside, the 46, and actually not the 46 here tonight. That'll be the 54, I do believe it is. That'll be Tyler Hargrove, and to his outside in the 14, that'll be Shad Prescott. Row number 5 on the inside, the 96, that'll be Barrett Bishop, and to his outside in the 999, that'll be Dylan Fox. Row number 6 on the inside, in the 48 machine here tonight, that'll be David Heilman, and to his outside in the 57, that'll be Ryan Diatti. Row number 7 on the inside, the 421 machine. That'll be Britton Roxbury, into his outside in the 10. That'll be Casey Brunson. Trevor Fitz, he'll be on the inside of row number 8, the 28 machine, to his outside in the 62. Be Zach Jenkins. You got Cameron Evans back there on the inside of row number 9 in the 02 machine, alongside the 00 of Austin Matthews. Joshua Hessen will be at the inside of road number 10, the 118 machine, alongside the 34 of Trent Beaver. Virgil Graham will be on the inside of row number 11 in the 42 machine, along the outside of 40. That'll be Brandon Schmidt. And the 12th and final row on the inside, the 20. That'll be Ryan Gott. And to his outside, the 24. That'll be Jared Muppet. Those will be your 24 drivers competing for 6 spots in sub-feature number 2 here tonight for the Team VLR Star Spangled Showdown.
California and North Carolina bring us to the green flag. 35 laps the distance. Top 6 lock into tomorrow night's finale. Top 5 move off to the dash as we go green. And your leader through turns 1 and 2, J.D. Brown, the Bakersfield, California driver. Meanwhile, Mount Airy, North Carolina's Kendall Tucker looks to his inside, side by side for the lead through turns 3 and 4. Who's going to lead a lap number 1 of this prelim drag race back to the line? And that's going to be car number 14 for the Cali driver, J.D. Brown.
J.D. Brown still showing the way down the back straight with this. Kendall Tucker, Dylan Hauser, Alex Bergeron, James Edens, your top 5 right now. Shad Prescott, Howard Weaver go at it for the 6th and final transfer spot. Coming around to lap number 2 this time, side by side, still at the line. J.D. Brown still showing the way.
3 good crews right now at the front of the pack as your leader, J.D. Brown, enters in the middle. He lets it drift high to the top side. Meanwhile, Kendall Tucker staying on the low side. Tucker starting to make up ground on your leader. Last time by, 1800ths of a second was the separation from first to second. Right behind them, Dylan Hauser, Bergeron, and Edens. Good battle on the top 5. That time at the line, J.D. Brown will see his advantage. Well, it's going to actually grow by about 100th of a second.
Looks like another good racetrack here for tonight's feature of it. 2 distinct groups right now. And as I say that, we have a caution out on the racetrack. Looks to be the 02 of Cameron Evans, turned around facing the wrong direction. We'll take a back look and see what happened to him.
4 laps in the books in this one. 31 to go. Again, caution laps will count. We are equipped for a green-white checkered finish if it needs to be. And right now, it's J.D. Brown, the California driver, leading the way over North Carolina's Kendall Tucker. Dylan Hauser back in 3rd in car number 2. Then Canada's Alex Bergeron in 4th, and James Edens in the 52. That's your top 5 with what's soon to be 5 laps complete.
All right, looks like the 02 of Cameron Evans may have tried to make some racetrack that did not exist out there and runs into some tractor tires at the entrance of pit road, try to make it 3 wide. But nonetheless, he'll re-rack it, restack it, tag the rear out of the field, get that car repaired. As we get set to go back to green, I believe maybe we'll pace around one more time before we turn them back loose. J.D. Brown, Kendall Tucker, Hauser, James Edens, Alex Bergeron, Howard Weaver right now, your top 6 drivers.
Those tractor tires will win 10 out of 10 times from my experience. 10 out of 10 times they're going to win, Tommy.
Absolutely.
Well, J.D. Brown and Kendall Tucker, ironically, running two distinctly different grooves. J.D. Brown's been around the top. Kendall Tucker's been around the low side. Well, for this restart, they're going to be swapped because J.D. Brown will be on the inside, Kendall Tucker to his outside. And we're going to see what those drivers think about how the other half lives. They're either going to find out they really like where their competitors are at, or they're going to try to get back to where they've been running as fast as they possibly can.
Well, they'll go green next time out of turn number 4. And we got a pretty good pair back there on the inside-outside row number 2. A couple of long-time rivals in Alex Bergeron in the 12 and Dylan Hauser in car number 2. And then your current Schaefer's Old Modified Touring Series points leader back there on the inside of row number 3 as we get set to go back to green right here out of turn number 4. J.D. Brown, Kendall Tucker set to lead them back to the green.
They're going to come back 7 laps down. 28 to go. Top 6 into the big show tomorrow night. Top 5 to the dash. Who's it going to be? We'll find out in 28 laps as we head off into turns 1 and 2. This sprawling half-mile oval. And J.D. Brown powers back to the lead. Meanwhile, Kendall Tucker falls around the cushion. But don't look now. Dylan Hauser's the catfishing around the bottom. He heads to the low side in car number 2.
Kendall Tucker, he'll pull up alongside the door of J.D. Brown here on the front straightaway. J.D. Brown still powers back out front, and Kendall Tucker, he'll try to slide up in front of J.D. Brown once again. And a little bit of contact right there. They stay clean, we stay green. Kendall Tucker now move up to the race lead at turn number 3 and 4 this time. 3 wide now for the lead.
Kendall Tucker may have one more of those right up in front of the 14 car before he's in the fence. As we saw J.D. Brown have to get on the binders. Kendall Tucker running an aggressive race, but hey, it's what he's got to do, and he finds his way to the lead as we come back to complete lap number 10 of this 35-lapper. The North Carolina driver out front. California rides in second, Canada in third, and the yellow flag is back out, Tommy.
Yellow flag out on the racetrack once again. We'll take back and look to see what happened. Maybe the 421 of Britton Roxbury this time bringing out the yellow. Gets into the back of the zero machine of Austin Matthews, and around he goes. And that'll bring out the second caution here in sub-feature number 2.
Well, that resets the field, groups them back together, but we've got a new leader. Kendall Tucker, the Mount Airy, North Carolina driver in the 00, has powered to the top spot. And what did you think from your vantage point, Tommy? Those were some pretty aggressive slide jobs, but hey, when there's big money on the line, it seems like you got to go after it, so why not?
Kendall Tucker, he definitely went for it right there. Threw off the gloves right there, trying to make something happen for the race lead. Once again, top 6 drivers do transfer into tomorrow night's main event. But Kendall Tucker, he finished second in the spring fling, looking for another big finish here in one of those VLR Crown Jewel events, and it starts here tonight in sub-feature number 2.
As you look back through the pack, and now we're coming around to complete a lap number 12 under caution, nobody really making wholesale moves. I mean, really pretty much anybody's done is 1 or 2 spots, and that's a little bit different than we saw in the last feature. When we approached the halfway mark, you had some guys like Shane James that already passed, 8 cars or so. So it's going to be interesting to see as this race goes on, can anybody make any big moves? Probably Virgil Graham, the most notable, 21st to 14th. But still a long way to go if he's going to get to one of those top 6 lock-in spots.
It's definitely a who's who field out here right now. If you can pass a lot of these drivers in this main event, you're doing some work. And we get set to go back to green. It'll be 13 down, and we'll have 22 to go. I do believe that's right with my Mississippi math here.
You are right, sir. As we get set to go back green with Kendall Tucker leading the way. Pace truck will duck into the infield. We come back to the green flag. Back underway here tonight at Volusia Speedway Park. It's been a good one so far. We'll see what the second half of the race will hold as Bergeron with a slider moves up to second. And meanwhile, the 14 car, J.D. Brown, does not get a good restart. He's going to fall back to Spar's fifth.
James Eden's now knocking on the door for position number 2 over Alex Bergeron. Now trying to make that a 3-car dance for the race lead. Eden's on the bottom of the racetrack trying to make something happen. Bergeron will go back down there and just slam the door and look on the inside of Kendall Tucker as well down the back straightaway.
Alex Bergeron started forward trying to get to the lead. Meanwhile, James Eames, who started 5th, trying to go from 3rd to the lead. Bergeron slams the door to his outside. Here comes J.D. Brown, a racetrack coming to life. They're 3 wide for position number 2 with 15 in the books, 20 to go.
3 wide for position number 2. They're 3 wide back here for position number 5 as well as Shad Prescott at 14. He's trying to hold on to that 4th and final transfer, or 6th and final transfer spot, but here comes the 999 of Dylan Fox on the inside.
Right now, if you're Kendall Tucker, you're wondering what's happening behind you. Well, Kendall, let me tell you, they're 3 wide, and they're coming in a hurry, and they're coming in every groove, and you can't block them all, son. So it's about to get entertaining, because now the 14 of J.D. Brown has got his feet back under him, and he's up to second. He may not be done there as Kendall Tucker scrubs a lot of speed on turn number 4 as he slides through the middle.
J.D. Brown looked like he was done just a few moments ago. Works the top of the racetrack. He powers back right behind Kendall Tucker for the race lead down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, on the bottom of the racetrack, here comes Alex Bergeron sliding up in front of Kendall Tucker. Lets off the gas. As he does that, he slides up in front of J.D. Brown side by side at the line.
Literally anybody in the top 5 can win this race as we are past the halfway mark, and there's a lot of good cars in this one, and now 3 or 4 more join the top 5 as we're side by side for the lead. Bergeron to the inside of Kendall Tucker for the lead. Bergeron shoves like a dump truck through turns 3 and 4, and that's keeping him from getting clear of your leader, Kendall Tucker, who will lead lap number 19 next time by, 20 in the books.
4-car battle for the race lead. Kendall Tucker still holding on to it right now. That's Bergeron, J.D. Brown, James Eden side by side for 4th. Then it's Dylan Hauser, Dylan Fox, Shad Prescott, all right there together. 6 cars transferred. There's about 7, 8, 9 of them all right there together.
Not going to lie to you, I would have thought somebody would have got around Kendall Tucker by now because he's fighting that race car a little bit, but he has driven a very smart race, and now Bergeron couldn't pass him down low, so Alex Bergeron's going to enter in the middle, let it slide high, but he can't because Tucker's right there. Now Bergeron turns down the hill. They're going to drag race back to the line. Lap number 21, it's still Kendall Tucker. What a race tonight in Volusia.
About almost 5 wide for the lead out of turn number 4 right there. Bergeron back to the top of the racetrack behind J.D. Brown right behind him with Kendall Tucker. Got a car length ahead, just sliding up in front of Bergeron, knocking the momentum away from Bergeron out of turn number 4.
Kendall Tucker doing exactly what he's got to do to keep Bergeron behind him. Now Eads is joining the party. J.D. Brown making a comeback for what seems like the 9th time in this feature is down the back straightaway. Bergeron loses a little bit of ground. Eads pulls up to his inside, and Kendall Tucker extends his lead for the time being.
Beautiful racing right now here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Tucker still showing away. Then it's Alex Bergeron, James Eden's your top 3, J.D. Brown, Dylan Hauser, Shad Prescott, your top 6 drivers. Dylan Fox on the outside looking in as we're coming around to complete lap number 24. It'll be 11 laps to go at the line.
And if you're Kendall Tucker, you got to think, I've seen him above me. I've seen him below me. Where do I need to go? And again, the thing is, where do you go if you're the leader? Because there's 2, 3 good groups behind him. Tucker has done a great job so far. He's going to have 10 more times around the speedway to do it this time out of turn number 4 as Bergeron just cannot make that car stay low out of turn 3 and 4 to get it inside of Tucker as we complete lap number 25. 10 laps to go in this one.
Kendall Tucker slides it up very high off of turn number 4, closes the momentum of the outside line, able to keep the race lead. Bergeron on the bottom of the racetrack. Look at Kendall Tucker dive all the way to the bottom, all the way up to the top of the racetrack. Bergeron doing the same thing now. We'll see if Bergeron can try to make a move on the outside.
Good racing right now. Tucker has run every groove the best that he can and has kept him out in front. Right now, Bergeron trying to find a way around him, mounting one final charge, perhaps. Kendall Tucker, it looked like that line he runs down in 3 and 4 would cost him the lead, but now as I watch this race go on, I think it's kept him the lead. He enters low, he slides high. Down in 1 and 2, he runs a similar groove, and now Bergeron tips toes to the outside as Kendall keeps it right on the low side of the racetrack. Here comes Alex Bergeron going after North Carolina and Canada, battling it out for the win here tonight in Volusia.
What a race for the lead right now. That's not even including the race for the 6th and final transfer spot. Dylan Hauser now, the man on the bubble. Here comes Dylan Fox knocking on the door, but the battle still up front for the race lead. Here comes Bergeron on the inside, almost side by side with Tucker now.
Again, both those cars push up the speedway. Tucker the advantage. They come around to complete that lap. 6 to go. What a race this has been. J.D. Brown comes back for the 7th time in this feature. Back up to 3rd. Can anybody get past Kendall Tucker? He has driven a brilliant race so far. He's going to have 5 more times to do it this time by. Out of turn number 4, the 00 tiptoes around the cushion. Bergeron to his inside at the line. Half a car length to Kendall Tucker.
Bergeron, Tucker running the race of their life right now. Tucker trying to hold off a hard-charging Alex Bergeron. This is J.D. Brown, James Eden, Shad Prescott, Dylan Hauser. Here comes Bergeron with a slider into turn number 3.
Slider up the speedway. Bergeron scrubs his speed. Tucker turns back down the hill. 4 laps to go. What more could you want out of a race? And don't look now. Here comes J.D. Brown in the 14 joining the party. 3, 4, 5, 6 cars getting ready to settle it as we come race back this time by. 3 to go. Bergeron tries another slider. This time he keeps it down low. No, not low enough. Tucker drives back around him. 3 laps to go in Volusia.
3 more times around the racetrack. Kendall Tucker holding off the hard-charging Alex Bergeron the best he can. Bergeron takes it back to the top of the racetrack down the back straightaway. They'll come around out of turn number 3 and 4 this time. Bergeron going to dive it down to the bottom, trying to cross him over once again. Not enough momentum this time. 2 sticks in the air this time.
What a run by Kendall Tucker. 2 laps to go. 1 mile around this speedway. Can he keep Bergeron behind him? Can he keep J.D. Brown behind him? They're going to race to the white flag, this time out of turn number 4. 1 more time around the speedway at Volusia.
1 more time around the racetrack. Kendall Tucker, he's been brilliant thus far. He's going to have to hold off the Canadian 1 more time. Into turn number 1 and 2, Bergeron takes it to the bottom. He'll try to move alongside Kendall Tucker down the back straightaway. They'll go into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time right here.
Kendall Tucker lets it drift up off the bottom of turns 3 and 4, coming to the checkered flag. Kendall Tucker takes the win. Alex Bergeron comes home in the 2nd spot. J.D. Brown 3rd, Shad Prescott 4th, James Edens 5th, Dylan Hauser, your 6th and final transfer. If you didn't enjoy that, you need to find a new sport because that's as good as it gets. Fantastic job by all these drivers.
Absolutely right there from first on through about 9th place right there. These drivers drove an excellent race. Kendall Tucker able to hold off some of the best in the business behind him and take home the win here tonight. And he will transfer over as your outside pole sitter for tomorrow night's dash for the Star Spangled Showdown. We'll see if we can't get a couple of these drivers up here and talk to them right quick before we let them go to bed or whatever they need to do here tonight. It's been a long one here tonight, Ben.
It has been, but what a great way to wrap it up. Fantastic show. And Kendall Tucker, man, he drove just an incredible race. Alex Bergeron, great clean race. J.D. Brown made his way up through there a few different times to bounce back to come home 3rd. And, man, you just can't say enough about these guys. Fantastic show here tonight. And I tell you what, while we're waiting to get some of the other guys, we're going to go ahead and grab your 3rd place finisher, J.D. Brown. J.D., can you hear us?
We got to pull him up here first.
Oh, I thought we had him. There we go.
There we go.
JD, can you hear us now? Well, JD, I'm going to be honest, buddy. It felt like you had to come back about 10 times to get to 3rd, and it felt like multiple times you were going to get back to the lead. From your perspective, how did the car feel?
The car felt great. Just like you said, I had to go back and forth a couple times, so I just got checked up, had to go back, and then gain the time back. But we were right there with them. The car felt good and pretty even with them.
Well, JD, you did a great job tonight. You're going to start 6th in the dash tomorrow night. How much of a relief is it to be locked into the big show?
Oh, huge. My goal is to try to make the show tonight, which we did it and ended up in the 3rd. So hopefully we do something in dash, get ourselves up front, and go for the win tomorrow night.
Well, tonight you were the fast qualifier. You finished 3rd. You're locked in. Any sponsors you want to thank before we let you go?
I want to thank App Auto Parts, H&M Automotive, SCP Performance, and everyone at Bad Racing. Been huge help, and we've been gaining. Made the show. Hopefully, the other guys can make it in tomorrow.
All right. Well, congrats, JD. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we drag up Mr. Kendall Tucker into the booth because I need to be painfully honest with Kendall Tucker. Kendall, first, congratulations. You just did a phenomenal job. How excited are you right now?
Man, I'm pretty pumped. That was a heck of a race to drive right there. That's probably one of the best races I've ever been a part of right there. So I hope that was a good showing for the fans right there. As fun as that was for me, man, that was a blast.
I'm going to be honest with you, Kendall. With about 12 laps to go, I wrote you off. I was like, they were running 3 wide behind you. They were running every groove. They were catching you. I said, he can't block them all. He can't keep them behind him. But you did. And what do you think the key was to not letting them pass? Because there were times you had somebody outside, inside, all points in between. What was the biggest key to you getting this win?
I mean, yeah, you just had to make the race car just as wide as the track was. I just knew I couldn't slip up, man. I knew if I was going to have to run the bottom right there, it was really slick. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to slip up right there with Bergeron behind me. And I knew if I was going to run the slider line, man, I was going to have to put it right up against the wall coming off too. So, I mean, to bring this home, man, it probably ranks up there with one of the biggest wins I've had with this field of cars. So it's pretty cool.
Tommy, you were right there with me. You watched Kendall drive a phenomenal race. Do you have any questions for your winner?
I think you covered them all. Ben, any shout-outs or thanks you want to give? Who's on the car, bud?
Yeah, I don't think the new paint was on the broadcast, and I don't know if we'll have to double check that for tomorrow. But I just gotta thank all my guys at Swindell Speed Lab, man. I gotta thank Rusty Kruger. He done a heck of a job letting me know where I needed to be on the track. I was just putting all my faith into him right there. Whatever he tell me to run, I was gonna run it. So just it was kind of up in the air right there. Them fixed setups, man. It's insane racing. It's just really tough. And I thank all the guys at Swindell Speed Lab. You know, Kevin, he does a great job. I got to thank CBD Wiser Organics, Bell Helmets, Jeff Brown with iRacing iFlag, and Jim Aaron with Superman Graphics. We'll try and get this paint on the broadcast tomorrow. But that's really it. And got to thank all the guys at Team VLR for putting this on. And shout out to you, Ben, for announcing this stuff. It's pretty cool. And thank you, Tommy, as always. Y'all do a great job.
Well, congratulations. You're going to start outside front row for the dash tomorrow night. We can't wait to see what tomorrow night holds for you.
Absolutely can't wait.
There you go. Feature winner here in Server 2, Kendall Tucker, the Mount Airy, North Carolina driver. Let's go ahead and bring in Alex Bergeron, who ran a masterful race to come home in second. And Alex, I tell you what, man, you got second, and I got to give mad shout out to you because there could have been a couple times you might have gone in there and not checked up or not tapped the brakes and got into the leader, but you drove a clean race, and it was a hell of a race for us to announce and watch. So for that, I say thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome. I gotta say, second's pretty good for this type of competition. This is stat competition for sure, and I'm very proud of it. Definitely good for Team ABR, and we're gonna be good for tomorrow. I'm sure. I'm sure we could have got by him. I just didn't want to get in the back of him or make a mistake and get back in seventh and don't transfer. So I think we ran a good race.
Alex, you could get a really good run through him down what I call the tri-oval in the back straightaway since you're constantly turning, but it seemed like getting into turn number 3, the car would shove if you tried to run it too far in there. How did it feel from the driver's seat?
It would really get understeer going to 3, and you really had to get on the throttle just enough so the car would turn, and I just made that happen, and we had a good battle there with Kendall in turn 3. I think he made a move under me there when I was running the bottom, so I was kind of surprised there by him. But overall, on the back straightaway here is just awesome for that tri-oval. When there's stacky parts down there, you can grab that and go quicker than the guys running the top. But going to turn 3, the guys running the top are going to be quicker than you, so you gotta work that out.
Well, Alex, tomorrow night you're going to start 4th in the dash, and I know you got some people that help you that you'd like to thank.
Yeah, I got to thank Team ABR, Jason Niger, my girlfriend, work hard, and this is a big event, so we'll try to do our best tomorrow. I got to thank all my partners, as always, Nomi.com, Design Track Keenies, BK Designs, CSI Chalks, Max McLaughlin Racing, Mart Inc., and everybody watching tonight, all the fans, my dad for watching as well. And like I said, all the fans and everybody for watching tonight, and you guys for broadcasting, and Team VR for putting this event up. It's a pleasure to be part of this.
And boys and girls, you just learned a lesson there. Always thank your girlfriend or your wife. Don't thank both of them, though. You will get in trouble. So, congratulations, Alex Bergeron. We'll see you tomorrow night. And again, great job tonight.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to bring real quick up. We got 4th, 5th, and 6th sitting. We're going to bring up 4th place finisher Shad Prescott. We'll bring Shad into the interview room. And Tommy, I'm going to let you take this one with Shad. You kept your eye on him all night, and he comes 8th to 4th.
All right, Shad. You start in position number 8. You take home a 4th place finish here tonight. You transfer over into the Star Spangled Showdown main event tomorrow night. Talk us through your race, bud.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. The track was a lot better than I thought it would be. I think you could pretty much run just about anywhere on it. It's just down the front straightaway, it would get a little tricky. It was so rough up there, you had to make sure you didn't get stuck to the wall or climb it or mess your entry up into one. All in all, it was a good run.
Did it look as fun to race in that pack as it looked on camera, bud?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, actually. Everybody showed a lot of respect. We hardly ever even touched if we did at all, so it was one of the funnest races I've had in a while here.
All right. Well, did you learn anything that you could take over with you to tomorrow night to try to get up the win, man?
Yeah, I think so. I think just being patient tomorrow and being smooth and keeping it clean is going to be key.
Well, Shad, definitely congratulations on your 4th place finish here tonight. Any shout-outs, thanks you want to give before we let you go, bud?
Yeah, just got to thank Eddie Livingston and everybody over at D1RT, all them guys. They all know who they are. And got to thank Big Show Promotions and you guys for the broadcast.
All right. Well, great job tonight, Chad. We'll see you tomorrow night, and we'll bring in now the 5th place finisher, James Edens, into the booth. As James comes away, started 5th and finished 5th. James, it's going to show you started 5th and finished 5th, but there was a bigger story there. There were a couple of times where it looked like you were headed to the lead. You couldn't quite get there. What do you think was your biggest challenge tonight?
I think the bottom just, it went away, and it went away in a hurry there. I thought we were starting to make some progress, and it just, migrated back up to the top, and then I just kind of got stuck down there and held on.
The race tonight, 35 laps. It seems like a long time, around a half mile, but from the driver's seat, does it go by in the blink of an eye?
Most of the time it does, but, we were running side by side there for 35 laps. It makes it seem like it takes forever, but... it wasn't too bad. I think we got 50 laps tomorrow, so that'll definitely be a little bit longer, and hopefully we can get a little more racy there.
Well, 50 laps tomorrow. You'll start 10th in the dash, so you're going to have a chance to advance your starting spot. Before we let you go, who would you like to thank?
I just got to thank, all the Speed Lab guys and all the sponsors over there. I think we got all 6 of our guys that ran in tonight in the dash tomorrow, so hopefully we got one more guy to go tomorrow. Hopefully you can get in there.
All right. Well, James Edens. James, congratulations tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. Well, the final guy we're going to talk to, your 6th and final transfer, we'll bring Dylan Hauser into the channel. Well, Dylan, I know if I told you at the beginning, hey, you're starting 3rd, you're going to finish 6th, you probably would not have been very happy. So that's the bad news. But the good news is you're in the show tomorrow. You don't have to start over. Is there any consolation in that?
It's a lot better than last time. That's a consolation, I guess. But, yeah, we just wanted to get through the night clean, and I don't run these cars a whole lot, so I'm happy to make the main. And we had speed there at the end of that race. It was the lines were, if you were run, you had to follow somebody to make it pass because you would end up crossing each other over and hitting each other. So it was tough to race, but the track was really good, and we had speed. I think we got a shot tomorrow if we could just stay up front all night. It's gonna be tough. These guys are good at what they do.
How much can you learn when you're out there and you're watching these guys that do this a lot more than you and you're following them around for 35 laps? Do you feel like as a driver you learn a lot of what to do and what not to do?
Yeah, I actually learned a lot in that race. About first 10 laps, I was hugging the bottom off forward too much, or in the center of it. And I started pushing up a little more and then coming back down straight across into the grip, and it helped me a lot. And I caught the pack again and then just followed, and then I found the slider line in 3 and 4 and was right on their heels again. And it's so much with the lane. This track changed a lot. You had to be on your toes with it and eyes open because they were changing every lap of the race.
Well, the bad news is you're not in the dash tomorrow night. The good news is you're locked into the 12th starting spot, so no shame whatsoever in that. A fantastic night for you. Who would you like to thank?
Slick Sim Sport. We're a new team on iRacing. Go like our Facebook page and down under graphics. And just all our sponsors. We're a new team. Go like our page and hopefully see us up front tomorrow night.
Well, congrats, Dylan. We enjoyed watching your race tonight. We'll watch you tomorrow night for 50 laps. All right, so Dylan Hauser finishes in the 6th spot, and I tell you what, another great night, Tommy. It ramps up to tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be an even bigger night because we got to run both these shows, and then we got to run the 50-lapper. You and I got to eat our Wheaties and get ready to go for tomorrow night. But fantastic racing night, so much talent in this, and I hope everybody that watched along had as good a time as we did calling the action.
Absolutely. It's been a blast to call these races tonight. Got some great action, especially that last one right there. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. And Ben, before we go, I do believe you got one more guy down here in the interview booth. Going to pull up here right quick. We got Mr. KT King, the man behind the plan here with Team VLR. We're going to get a few words with him right quick before we go. KT, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I had the other broadcast open there.
Oh, that's fine, bud. Was it as stressful as you thought it was going to be here tonight, bud?
Hey, the real stress doesn't kick in until tomorrow. That was just fun tonight. Anytime you get battling like that, I'm pretty happy.
It was a fantastic race, and I know you guys kind of put this deal together. Came together a little bit later than the Spring Fling, some of the other events, and you had to be tickled to death to have over 100 entries for this deal.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about the community that we have that just time and time again just keeps coming back to support us. They don't have to, but we put in a lot of hard work to do this stuff for these guys, and just with the community support, it makes it a lot easier.
What's your favorite part of an event like this? What do you enjoy the most?
Oh man, who doesn't love seeing slide jobs for the lead, right?
True.
True. It's fun. I mean, that's what we want to put on great racing, and have some real stakes to it too.
KT, I know you guys are always looking for the next big thing, and you're trying to grow this thing, and you admit when you make mistakes, and that's one thing I like. I always say the mistake's not a problem till you make it a second time, and owning the mistake is an even more proud thing to do. Not many people do. And so if you want to say anything, there's so many people that support you and support this. What would you like to say to everybody that supports this deal and allows you to continue to grow these events and learn what does work and at the same time what doesn't work?
Well, we're a pretty open book. I mean, we're always good with people coming in and sitting in with us and talking shop about what we're doing and how we're doing it, and just any way we can do things better. And just the support. It's phenomenal to have over 100 guys come out and pay $35. On a couple week promoted race. I mean, it's awesome. I'm pretty thrilled about it.
Well, if it's all been easy tonight, I want to make it hard for you. Who's going to win this thing tomorrow night? I'm going to make it hard. The promoter has to pick a winner.
Oh, God. Don't do that.
Pick one. I was kidding. Do not do that. You don't want to.
Yeah.
No, I think one thing we know for sure, KT, it's going to be a fantastic race tomorrow night. There's so much talent already in the field, and there's so much more talent just trying to get in the show.
Hey, they've got another chance. The guys who didn't make it in got another chance to do it again tomorrow. That's what we love about this format that we've cooked up for this one.
Yeah, you cannot say, I made the comment earlier, I kind of bitched and moaned a little bit about, it's a long show, but hey, you're getting your entry fee money out of this one. If you don't get in, you can only blame one person, the guy sitting in the driver's seat. Well, KT, as we get ready to wrap this up, any final things you'd like to pass on, anything you'd like to say to everybody that watched tonight?
Thanks for watching. Thanks to Trevor Brownlee doing the unsung hero job of running cameras tonight. Stephen Calavoda and Rocky Battenfield. Howard Weaver for doing as much. The guys at South Texas Speedway. I mean, events like this aren't possible without sponsors. And iRacing, iFlag, and then the two best announcers from Riverside Speedway history.
That's awful big shoes. I'll take a small part of that, but that's big shoes. But no, I appreciate you having. I know I speak for Tommy too. Appreciate you having us. It's a blast, and man, I tell you what, the amount of competition here blows me away every time I get on this deal. It just gets tougher and tougher, and it's cool to see these guys going from these virtual cars into real cars and kicking butt out there too. So, KT, I salute what you and the entire staff have put together here.
Well, thanks. We'll do it again tomorrow. How's that?
Absolutely. That sounds like a plan. How's that sound to you, Tommy?
That sounds like a plan, bud. Can't wait.
Well, with that said, we are going to sign off for tonight. Tomorrow night, we are going to be going live at 7 o'clock. Again, 2 complete prelim shows, then the big 50-lap finale, over $3,000 on the line, $500+ going to the winner. You don't want to miss it. So tomorrow night, about 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, tune into Team VLR's Facebook page as we wrap up the inaugural Star Spangled Showdown presented by South Texas Speedway. On behalf of myself, Ben Shelton, Tommy Rowe Jr., the whole staff, thanks for tuning in. Be safe, everybody. Good night.
Engine oil has changed, and Schaefer has got you covered. What'd you expect? We've been doing our thing so you can do your thing since 1839. We've helped pioneer friction modifiers, helped pioneer advances in synthetics. We go so far back, we even helped the pioneers. So, new diesel oil standards? Yeah, we got this. Introducing our new SynShield CK4 and FA4 heavy-duty oils, developed by these guys, our guys who know their stuff. They've been burning the midnight oil to bring you these new oil technologies for years. Next-generation oils that deliver like only Schaefer can. Durability blends that take you to extremes and back. OTR formulas that keep you rolling longer for less. More driving, less draining with our Max MPG oil. And an ultra performance oil that lets you put a foot in soot like nobody's business. More miles, greater protection, lower TCO, Schaefer's quality. Yeah, that's the stuff. Diesel engine oil may have changed, but Schaefer, we've been preparing since 1839.
And we're getting ready to go for the largest paid race in iRacing history.
13 different states, 2 different countries.
25 of the best, $3,000 on the line. Driver from Glenboro, Wisconsin, and the D1RT Supermoon graphics. That'll be Dylan Fox. And the pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn, and we are underway with the 12th annual spring. Around the Knoxville Raceway.
Off into turns 3 and 4, final time. The winner of the 12th annual Schaefer's Oil Spring Fling coming to us. It's Dylan Fox in the 999.
Boy, these iRacing iFlag cars are fast tonight.
You know, Todd, I guarantee you, Brown, Leonardi, Weaver, Capert, and Pena are all using them products from their sponsor tonight to give them the upper hand over the competition.
Well, how can I get fast like those guys?
Well, that's easy, Todd. You gotta head over to iRacingIFlag.com.